Right. Good morning, everyone. So can you all hear me? So can you send me a reply? So guys, please mute your camera, mute your audios and mics, and also at the same time off your cameras as well. But if you have any questions, you can unmute and ask, and also you can text me right through Zoom. So can you all hear me? Good, very good. Right. So so hope you all are in. So hope shall I start then? Okay. So today we are going to discuss about bronchiolitis, right? So so why did I choose this topic? So actually, it is this topic is extremely important. So it's important in it's important in MCQs, SBAs, and even long cases, short cases, and even for KDU students, of course, even for SCQs, as sometimes even in your OSCEs as well. So sometimes they can give an X-ray and they can ask some questions, right? So again, this bronchiolitis topic is extremely important. So these days, of course, some KDU students are also having some exams, PED exams as well. So it's better to know about this topic very well, and also this is very important, right? So we frequently ask about questions about this topic under this topic because it is very common. So bronchiolitis is an extremely common condition. So if you go to an pediatric ward, so you will see so many cases. There will be so many bronchiolitis cases at any time, right? So it's very common and it is highly unique to pediatrics. So you will not find a bronchiolitis case in a medical ward, right? So that is the important. So that's why we frequently ask question. Sorry, give me a second. Yes, about regarding bronchiolitis. Good. So tell me now. So before we start this topic, so the respiratory system is very extremely important in pediatrics because most of the admissions are hospital admissions are in pediatric wards. The most of the hospital admissions are due to respiratory conditions. For example, the asthma is extremely common, and sometimes even a bronchiolitis common, and pneumonia. These croup conditions. So there are so many respiratory conditions are there. So out of that, the bronchiolitis is very common and it is very important. So it's important. Guys, can you all off your cameras? But you can reply me, right? So through Zoom, please off your cameras. So if you have any questions, you can ask through Zoom, right? So please answer the question through Zoom. At least send me an answer through. At least send me privately, right? You can send me privately, right? So because I want you all to participate actively, so there should be an active communication and active participation. So please reply through Zoom. Okay. So okay, right. So today we are going to discuss about bronchiolitis. So what is this? What is this bronchiolitis, Lamai? What is this bronchiolitis? Lamai, so if you discuss about the airway, so hope you can all can see this. So this is the upper airway, right? And this is the lower airway. So this is the trachea. This is the main bronchi. Then it will divide into branches, and the most terminal parts are called as what? Bronchioles, right? So these are called as bronchioles. So if there's an inflammation in the bronchial tree, bronchioles, we call it as bronchiolitis, inflammation of the bronchioles. The terminal part, if there's any inflammation in the terminal part or the bronchioles, the respiratory bronchioles, the bronchioles, we call it as bronchiolitis, right? So hope you had the lecture note. I'm not so you can go through that as well. So the inflammation of the bronchioles, we call it as bronchiolitis. So so it is mainly we are discussing about these so infected. So when there's an inflammation of the bronchioles, we are mainly discussing about the infective condition. So it's highly unique to in pediatrics, right? So again, so this is the commonest lower respiratory tract infection in infancy. So it is very commonest lower respiratory tract infection in infancy. Now tell me, so when we are discussing about bronchiolitis, so can you get bronchiolitis? Is it possible to get bronchiolitis? ඕගලන්ට එන්න පුළුවන්ද ළමයි bronchiolitis? Tell me. Send me an answer. Yes or no? ඔයාට එන්න පුළුවන්ද බැරිද bronchiolitis? Just එන්න පුළුවන් බැරිද? Yes or no? Sometimes the examiner might ask in your if after the long case in your discussion they might ask, can you get or not? Very simple. Yes, Ranjulu, Hasini, Timashi, very good. Oh, ඕගලන්ට එන්න පුළුවන්. ඕගොල්ලෝ චූටි බබෙක් වගේ හිටියොත්. Right? So it's no, right? You will not get bronchiolitis. It's highly unique in pediatrics. You only get it during mainly infancy. So the age should be less than 2 years, right? So ඕගලන්ට එන්නේ නැහැ. ඕගලන්ගේ ළමයි them lungs mature. ඕගලන්ගේ lungs bronchioles හොඳට mature. It will not collapse easily. ඔගොල්ලෝ චූටි පැටියෙක් වගේ හිටියොත් අන්න then possible, otherwise not, right? So keep in your mind, you will not get bronchiolitis. Bronchiolitis is a unique condition in pediatrics where you will find the children occurs in children below 2 years of age. අවුරුදු දෙකට වඩා අඩු අයට විතරයි bronchiolitis එන්නේ. අවුරුදු දෙකට වඩා කවුරු හරි ලෙඩෙක් වයස වැඩි නම් it's never bronchiolitis in your level, right? Bronchiolitis වෙන්නේ නැහැ. So keep that in your mind. So if you get a patient like 5-year-old child, and if you say a diagnosis, what's your most likely diagnosis, or tell your differential, if they ask to tell your differential diagnosis, and if you say bronchiolitis in a 5-year-old child, then definitely you will get failed, right? You should know that fact, that the bronchiolitis gets in only in very young children who are less than 2 years of age, and commonly gets between 1 month to 1 year of age. මාසයයි අවුරුද්දයි අතර තමයි ගොඩ 1 month to 9 months actually. ඔය age group එකේ තමයි commonly ඉන්නේ. So up to more than 90% of the children will be less than 1 year. Very small infants that are commonly, why their respiratory bronchioles are not mature. That's the main reason. And it's when once they develop an infection and inflammation, so the bronchioles easily tends to get collapse. So that's why bronchiolitis gets most of the time during the infancy, within the first year, but can get up to 2 years. So the 90% of the children will be less than 1 year. But is it common in neonatal period? Is it common? So they might ask, is it common? So sometimes in your MCQs also they might ask, is it common during the neonatal period? Send me an answer. So MCQs වල ඇහුවොත් ඔයගොල්ලෝ දැනගන්නද? So is it common? Very good. Lama, keep in mind, right? So bronchiolitis, most of the time, so it's not so common during the neonatal period. First month ke eka common nahi. So most of the time they develop after the first month. Why? Why is that? Lama, most of them will get the protection from the mother, right? So most of the time the maternal antibodies will transfer from through the placenta, and they will have first 1 month, 1.5 months, they will have a partial protection through that maternal antibodies, with that maternal antibodies, right? So, so most of the time you will not see during the initial neonatal period. But if a child born with if there's a premature delivery, preterm delivery, so if the child is preterm, so most of the immunoglobulin transfer during the third trimester. So in premature children, but there is a possibility of developing even in the first month of life, right? So most of the time they develop within the 1 month to 1 year, but even the infants, even the initial neonatal period are also possible, especially if the child is preterm, right? So you keep that in your mind. Those are the important things. So again, so tell me, so it's more so tell me regarding ratio between males and females. So keep in mind, so in pediatrics, of course, ඔගොල්ලෝ දන්නවා නේද පීඩ්ස් වල ගත්තොත් පීඩියාට්‍රික්ස් වලදී කන්ඩිෂන්ස් ගත්තොත් මොනවද ළමයි පිරිමියාගේද වැඩිපුර ලෙඩ වැඩිපුර තියෙන ගෑනු ළමයින්ගේද බොයිස් ලාගෙන් දැන් ගොඩක් වෙලේට ඔයගොල්ලෝ කැමති ළමයි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් පිරිමි ළමයෙක් හම්බෙනවටද ගෑනු ළමයෙක් හම්බෙනවටද බබෙක් විදියට කවුද මොකද්ද කැමති ගොඩක් දෙනෙක් කැමති කවුද කොල්ලෙක් හම්බෙනවටනේ right very good එහෙම කැමති සමහරලා ඵල කොල්ලෙක්ව එහෙම ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ කොල්ලෙක්ව හම්බුණා මුලින් වැඩිපුර කැමති කෙල්ලෙක් හම්බුණා තාය try කරන කොල්ලෙක්ව ආය try කරන කොල්ලෙක්ව ඒක කියන්නේ සාමාන්‍යයෙන් එන්නේ නේද so කොල්ලෙක්ව හම්බෙනවා නම් කැමති හැබැයි ප්‍රශ්නේ මොකද්ද ළමයි එහෙම කැමති වුණාට අනිත් පැත්තට ඕගොල්ලෝ හිතන්නේ නැති එකම so ගොඩාක් ලෙඩ pediatric ලෙඩ ගත්තොත් මොකද it's more common in males, right? So pediatric diseases, illnesses, even the most of the genetic syndromes, most of the conditions are more common in males, right? So that's the disadvantage. So adolescent period so most of the early childhood, most of the conditions are more common in males, right? So except very few conditions. So අර නිකන් ගෑන් ළමයින්ට common ඒවා තියෙනවා ළමයි හැබැයි ඒවා ටිකක් අර ටිකක් අවුල් වගේ ඒවා තියෙන ළමයි රුමටික් කෝරියා නිකන් පිස්සු හැදිලා වගේ ඒක වාගේද කැම ගෑනු වගේ දැන් whooping cough කහින කක්කල් කැස්ස again it's more in females petit mal epilepsy ප්‍රශ්නයක් ගහව නිකන් ගල් වෙලා වගේ බලන්නේ that is again more in females so ඒ වගේ ටිකක් අවුල් conditions උයි adolescent age එකේ එන autonomic conditions උයි තමයි most of the time common in females like other than that most of the conditions are more commonly seen in males here also the bronchiolitis also more commonly seen in males and its more severity also comparatively bit higher than the females right so males it's the prognosis also bit poor so that is about the basic facts so tell me what is the etiology so this is a very small topic actually but we ask questions very frequently right so since it is very common so you should even it is a very small topic you should know in and out about this condition so tell me what is the commonest etiology මොකක්ද මේගොල්ලන්ට එන්න පුළුවන් commonest etiology එක so what is it very good Damien so it's almost always most of the time respiratory syncytial virus but so so there are so many other viruses are there respiratory viruses are there for example para-influenza virus this adenovirus metapneumovirus right so many viruses are there metapneumovirus is a bit new virus like a fashionable virus right so many viruses are there but so what is the importance of knowing the etiology what is the importance ළමයි මතක තියාගන්න keep in your mind the importance is the bronchiolitis almost always caused by the viruses. Virus වලින්ම තමයි මේ වෙන්නේ. 99% viruses, right? So that's why what is the importance? So if you give antibiotics, will it be effective? No, right? So antibiotics are not indicated, so no point, right? So it's almost always viruses. So very few exceptions are there. So for example, Mycoplasma chlamydia, those are atypical bacteria, where the atypical means even though they are bacteria, they will act as viruses. Virus in intracellular, so bacteria in extracellular most of the time. But these bacteria are very small and they can stay inside the host cells. So they will act as viruses. So those are called atypical bacteria. So they will have features more towards viral picture. Virus උනක් ආපුවම ළමයි අපිට ගොඩක් headache එනවා, arthralgia, myalgia එහෙම එන්නේ. So here also the Mycoplasma chlamydia also, they also can have these constitutional symptoms. So the thing is, so it acts as viruses. So even though the etiology is almost always virus, so sometimes rarely atypical bacteria also possible. But here, since the 99% of the time it's due to viruses, we don't give antibiotics. So that's the clinical significance. So I said the commonest virus is respiratory syncytial virus. Right. So respiratory syncytial virus is the commonest. But again, I said there are some other viruses are there. So what is the significance of knowing that? Most of the time, so the respiratory syncytial virus is a small, like a guarantee, right? So it's a local virus, it's like a mild virus. So most of the time, they will not develop very significant symptoms and signs, and they will not go into chronic changes. So it will be a very acute thing, and they will not develop long-term or acute or long-term complications most of the time. But if they develop something virus other than the respiratory syncytial virus and rhinovirus, for example, influenza, para-influenza, adenovirus, those are very nasty viruses. So these influenza and para-influenza, they can go into an acute respiratory distress and respiratory failure, as well as adenovirus can induce fibroblast and they can have chronic changes. So that is the significance of knowing these viruses, right? So sometimes rarely these complications are also possible, if the etiology differs, right? So the most of the respiratory syncytial virus will not cause significant side effects, significant complications, but the other viruses, there is a possibility of developing the acute as well as long-term side effects. That is the importance of knowing the type of the virus. Right. So tell me, now I said the commonest etiology is respiratory syncytial virus. And sometimes even rhinovirus, those things are also possible. So tell me, okay, right. So respiratory syncytial virus. So for example, if you get a respiratory syncytial virus infection, what will happen? මොකද වෙන්නේ? Bronchiolitis දෙන්නේ, pneumonia දෙන්නේ, මොකද්ද otitis media ද මොනවද දෙන්නේ? Bronchiectasis ද, what will you develop? Come on, guys. Can't you develop bronchiolitis? What will you develop? Come on. දෙන්නෙක් තුන් දෙනෙක් කියලා තියෙනවා privately යවන්න ගොඩක් ලේ answer එක sure නැත්තම්. Good. Very good, excellent. ළමයි මතක තියාගන්න. So you will not develop bronchiolitis, right? So your lungs are mature, your bronchioles are mature, so you will not develop bronchiolitis. If you get a respiratory syncytial virus infection, so you will develop sometimes simple common cold. That's all, right? That's all, right? So you will not develop respiratory. It's a very benign virus, right? So, but in children in infancy, they can develop bronchiolitis. So even the infancy also 2/3 will develop just something like upper respiratory tract infection. 2/3 will develop upper respiratory something, sore throat, otitis media, or something upper respiratory tract. But the 1/3 will have lower respiratory tract infection where they can develop bronchiolitis. Good. So tell me, so you should have a rough idea about the mechanism, but then you can have an idea. Good. Uh, right. So now tell me. So I said this is the trachea. This is the bifurcation of the main bronchus. Then these are the branches, and finally they will they are at the end they will be bronchioles. That is the most terminal part. කෙලවරේම තියෙන්නේ එකට තමයි අපි කියන්නේ the bronchioles, right? Right. So I said the inflammation of the bronchioles, we call it as bronchiolitis, inflammation of the bronchioles. Now tell me, so what will happen? Most of the time, so I said it's almost it's caused by viral. So when there's a develop a respiratory syncytial viral infection, so these will attack to these bronchioles. Bronchioles, you may have heard there's something called endothelium, as well as there will be a cilia. No, have you heard about these things? Cilia කියලා අහලා තියෙනවාද? මේ වලින් තමයි ළමයි mucus ටික උඩට push කරන්නේ. So what will happen? So when there is a respiratory syncytial virus infection, these epithelium will get damaged. So what will happen? So then there will be an inflammation. So there will be a lot of mucus accumulation, but they will not develop. So the cilia will get damaged, and they will not be able to push the mucus upwards. So මොකද වෙන්නේ? සෙම මෙහෙම හැදෙනවා. හැදුනාට මොකද වෙන්නේ? මේ mucus ටික උඩට තල්ලු කරගන්න බෑ. So there will be a mucus accumulation in the terminal bronchioles. So what will happen? මේ කෙලවර වල ටිකේ මොකද වෙන්නේ? දැන් වල stem එකතු වෙලා තියෙන. So there will be a mucus accumulation in the terminal bronchioles. So what will happen? So මොකද වෙන්නේ ළමයි එහෙම වුණොත්? So most of the time, now this is a viral infection. So you know that for viruses, most of the viruses, we don't have specific treatment. So it should be settled by themselves. For example, හිතන්න වාට chicken pox හැදෙනා කියලා chicken pox හැදුනොත් මොකද ඔයා කරන්නේ? ඔයාගේ ඇඟෙන්ම chicken pox settle කරන්න එපා. measles හැදුනොත් measles ඇඟෙන්ම settle කරන්න එපා ළමයි. So viruses වලට ගොඩක් viruses වලට අපි antiviral දෙන්නේ නැහැනේ. So here also same. So ඇඟෙන්ම තමයි මේව කරන්න ඕනේ. virus එක antibodies develop වෙලා virus එක destroy කරලා. So ළමයි most of the time, once the epithelium get damaged, so it will takes around 3 days to start the regeneration. ඒ කියන්නේ මොකද මේක damage එක මේව කළා regeneration එක start කරන්න 3 days විතර යනවා, right? So that what is the importance? වැදගත් දේ මොකද? මතක තියාගන්න, that means what? The first 72 hours or the first 3 days are the most important 3 days. ඒ දවසේ තමයි ළමයාට bad වෙලා අමාරු වෙලා ගොඩක් දෙනෙක් මැරෙනවා නම් මැරෙන්නේ කොයි කාලෙද? මේ ලෙඩේ හැදිලා ලෙඩේ මේ වෙලේ කියන්නේ symptom signs මතුවෙලා after the first 3 days after the onset of the symptoms, low respiratory tract symptoms, right? මේ symptom signs මතුවෙලා first 3 days තමයි ඔයගොල්ලෝ බේර ගන්න ඕනේ මේව. So after that, the virus will gradually reduce, and these epithelium will gradually regenerate, and the cilia will gradually develop. So gradually they will improve with the time. But the important thing is what? Here, what will happen? So to regenerate the epithelium completely, it will take around 1 to 2 weeks time. So not like the asthma. So asthma වලදී නම් ළමයි අපි hospital එකට patient කෙනෙක් admit කරපුවාම අපි nebulize කරලා ටික කාලයක් they will respond quickly. But here, what is the problem here? So even if you do various things, the response will be minimum, and so duration of the hospital stay will be prolonged. Sometimes the patient may need to stay for 2 weeks of duration. සමහරවිට ඔයාට hospital එකේ හම්බෙන patient ගේ history එක දිහා මම දවස් 10ක් බබායෙක් හිටියා කියනවා. Why? So because the regeneration of the epithelium, it will take some time. So it will take sometimes even up to 2 weeks. සමහර සති දෙකක් විතර යනවා. So that's why that is the importance of knowing this thing. Right. So I said, so there will be an inflammation to the bronchioles or the terminal bronchioles. So what is the importance? So when you take a deep breath, then හොඳ හුස්මක් ගද්දි මොකද වෙන්නේ? So you know in the lungs, so this is basic things, basic physiology, you know that during inspiration, there will be a negative. You will develop a negative pressure here. No, I hope you are aware. So there will be a negative pressure. Negative pressure එකක් තියෙදි මොකද වෙන්නේ හොඳට lungs expand වෙනවා. So the air will comes in. But when you are expirating, හුස්ම පිට කරද්දි මොකද වෙන්නේ? What will happen? So there will be a positive pressure. When there is a positive pressure, මේ හැමතැනට මොකද වෙන්නේ? මේ pressure එක මේ වෙනවා. So what will happen? These terminal bronchioles are weak, and there will be a mucus accumulation also was there. And so what will happen? So during the expiration, so these terminal bronchioles will easily collapse. So inspiration, they will be fine, but the expiration, these bronchioles will easily collapse. So what will happen? Each breath, there will be an air trapping and air accumulation. So මොකද වෙන්නේ ළම හැම වෙලේම මොකද වෙන්නේ හුස්ම ගන්න සැරේ මොකද වෙන්නේ තෙම මේම තිබ්බාම හුස්ම deep breath එකේදී මේක මේ වෙනවා එයා එනවා හැබැයි expirate කරද්දි මොකද වෙන්නේ මෙතන block වෙනවා එතකොට air trapping. So what will happen when there is an air trapping, so there will be an hyperinflated chest එක මොකද වෙන්නේ අලී ලොකු වෙනවා මේ. So that will be a very characteristic sign in bronchiolitis. So what more characteristic sign will be hyperinflated chest. But sometimes if there's a significant obstruction, for example, there's so much mucus accumulation is there. සෙම හොගාල ගුලියක් විදිහට accumulate වෙලා තියෙනවා. So what will happen? These alveoli get easily collapsed. We call it as atelectasis. Atelectasia කියන්නේ ඒකට atelectasis කියන්නේ it will get collapsed. So once there is a complete obstruction. So most of the time they will develop hyperinflated chest due to air trapping. But at the same time, few atelectasis patches will be there in the lung field. So that is the very characteristic feature. So in a chest, if you take a chest X-ray, you will notice an hyperinflated chest as well as few atelectasis patches. So that is the importance of knowing these facts. So what did I mention? So I said this is the commonest lower respiratory tract infection in infancy, and this is caused by viruses, except very few atypical bacteria. So out of that, the commonest is respiratory syncytial virus, and the males are more predominant, and the mechanism will be there will be a damage to the terminal bronchioles, and there will be an air trapping and hyperinflated chest, and sometimes they can have few atelectasis patches, right? So that's what I did. That's the basic facts regarding acute bronchiolitis. So what are the risk factors? මොනවද ළමයි bronchiolitis එන්න පුළුවන් risk factors මොනවද? So tell me. I mean, there are so many risk factors out there. So again, it's so common in both European countries as well as in even in South Asian countries. But more seasonal variation will be there in European countries. See, මේකෙදි තමයි ළමයි ගොඩක් වෙලේට ඔයගොල්ලොත් ඔය පිටරටවල රෂ්‍යාවලදී දැකලා ඇති bronchiolitis වැඩිපුර එන්නේ winter කාලේ තමයි දැකලා ඇත්තේ නේද? So it's more seasonal variation will be there. So here also we commonly see in the children less than 3 years, and if there's associated parental smoking, ඔයගොල්ලෝ history ගාදී රෂ්‍යාවලදී අම්මා smoke කරනවාද කියලා අහනවා ඇති නේද? So it's very common. So parental smoking, poor socio-economic status, ventilation aduina, so those are very important. Those are common. But there are four important things are there which are extremely important, where we expect you all to know about these things. මේ අපි ප්‍රශ්නයක් ඇහුවොත් ඔයගොල්ලෝ answer කරද්දී you can say so low socio-economic state, maternal smoking, anything, you can say anything. However, keep in your mind, you need to say those conditions, 3 or 4 conditions definitely. Without that, you will not get the maximum marks. So even when you are writing an SCQ, during the long case discussion, ඔය 3 හෝ 4 අනිවාර්යෙන් කියන්න ඕනේ ඔය what are the risk factors කියලා ආද්දි. So what are the risk factors? Good. දැන් තමයි සමහර අය උත්තර ඒවලා. So one thing is what the prematurity and the low birth weight. So that is the first part. Prematurity or low birth weight, that as I said, so they are bronchioles will more and more immature, so it will easily tend to get collapsed, and they will not have the maternal and immunoglobulin protection as well. So that's a significant risk factor. So second one is what? Bronchopulmonary dysplasia. I will explain when we are during the neonatal, when we are discussing neonatology. But if you to have a rough idea, bronchopulmonary dysplasia is what? So it's also again commonly gets in the preterm children. Preterm children lagi මොකද වෙන්නේ? Most of the time if they develop and so after birth if they develop and respiratory distress, what will we do? So we do some ambu ventilation. No, most of the time, or we give high flow oxygen and we give ambu ventilation. So what will happen? These bronchioles as well as sometimes even the pulmonary epithelium, most of the time bronchioles will get damaged permanently, and these epithelium will replace by an abnormal cells. Bronchopulmonary dysplasia. Broncho කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? මේ bronchial tree එක. Pulmonary කියන්නේ සමහර වෙලාවට pulmonary epithelium involved වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Dysplasia. Dysplasia means what? Replaced by an abnormal tissues. මේක අපි ambu ventilate කරොත් මේ ඔක්කොම anatomic alter වෙනවා. histologic alter වෙනවා. මේක replace වෙන abnormal මේ. උන්හා මොකද වෙන්නේ? මේක නිකන් විකාර bronchial tree එකක්. So they will commonly get their ciliary functions are altered, their oxygenation also altered, හැමදේම altered. They are ගන්න දෙයක් නැහැ lung එක, right? So what මෙහෙම වුණාම මොකද? They will develop infections very frequently. මේ ළමයින්ට පට් ගාලා infections එනවා. They won't be able to respond and they will die very soon. That's very fatal condition, right? මාර භයානක හැදුනොත් ආපෝ ඉවරයි. treat කරන්න ගියාම ළමයි ඒ ළමයට හැදුනහම respiratory tract infection එක හරි අමාරුයි treat කරන්න. That is a very severe condition. මොකද anatomy එක completely alter වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. They will not respond spontaneously most of the time, and very difficult to control with medications, even symptomatic medications. So that is important. So keep in your mind. So you have, when we ask what are the risk factors, definitely you have to say prematurity and low birth rate. At the same time, you need to say bronchopulmonary dysplasia. Those are two most important conditions. So then again, the congenital heart defects also again important. So if this have an especially something like VSD or PDA, they will be a pulmonary congestion, and they will have a more high chance of developing these bronchiolitis. And also the immunodeficiency. Again, the immunodeficiency also very important. Again, again they can have severe episodes. So those are the risk factors. Good. Now, so right. So those are the risk factors. So again, when we ask a question, when we ask, so what are the risk factors of bronchiolitis? So even there are so many risk factors are there. Definitely you have say prematurity or low birth weight, then the bronchopulmonary dysplasia, congenital heart disease, and the immunodeficiency. Those four things are extremely important. Okay, තමයි අපි MCQ ඇහුවත් අහන්නේ, right? හරිද? So again, of course, these neuromuscular diseases, cystic fibrosis, yes, you have those things are also correct, right? So they again the age less than 3 months. Again, so because the neuromuscular disorder එකක් තිබ්බත් more and more prone to get poor cough drive එකක් තියෙන්නේ. So there will be a more mucus accumulation. So more chance of developing infection. Cystic fibrosis also, yes, as Google answers very good. Again, yes. But the more importantly, we ask about these conditions. So definitely when we ask a question, for example, SCQ or in a long case discussion, so you need to say these answers definitely. Right, good. So tell me, what are the symptoms and signs? So again, what are the symptoms and signs මේගොල්ලන්ට එන්නේ? Good. මතක තියාගන්න ළමයි, this is an viral, right? This is an viral. So viral එකක් ආවොත්, for example, අපි එකක් ඉගෙන ගත්ත මේ මතකද? So last week also I think week before I discussed about these croup and epiglottitis, no, a little bit. So again, so croup also, again I said viral croup also, it's a viral condition. So in that, so what was the initial symptoms? What were the initial symptoms? මොනවද මුලින්ම ආවේ? Very good, Rajaguru, very good. So මොකද්ද ආවේ? මොනවද ආවේ? Very good. Yes, they develop coryzal symptoms. So most of the time viral infection එකක් ආවම ළමයි ගොඩක් කෙලේට first 3 days ගොඩක් අයට එනවා එකපාරම තද symptom එක එන්නේ නැහැ. They will develop some coryzal symptoms, something like nasal congestion, rhinorrhea, low grade fever, right? So ඒ වගේ එකක් තමයි something like an upper respiratory tract infection. That's called the coryzal symptoms. So they will develop coryzal symptoms in the initial first 3 days. Here also, since it is a viral, so they will develop coryzal symptoms in the very initial 3 days, right? Right? Good. So tell me, right දැන් මට කියන්න give me a second ලක්මනේ like දෙක දාන්න මට තව පෑන් දෙකක් රතු එකක් තියෙන මගේ එකක් යටට වැටෙන තව දෙකක් පෑන් දෙකක් sorry so again so we were discuss right so right so initial first 3 days they will develop coryzal symptoms so they will develop nasal congestion low grade fever and maybe like rhinorrhea වගේ එකක් එන්න පුළුවන් that's those are the symptoms they will develop the initial first 3 days so after day 3 onwards so low grade fever කියන්නේ මොකද it's usual less than 101 අපි සාමාන්‍ය තද උණ කියන්නේ ළමයි 100ට වැඩි 101ට වැඩි වගේ නන්නේ so 101ට අඩු එකක් තමයි සාමාන්‍ය තියෙන්නේ so after third day onwards තමයි most of the time third day onwards තමයි they will develop characteristic sorry පාත මේක එකක් වැටුණා රතු එකක් තියෙනවා so they will sorry so day 3 onwards they will develop the characteristic symptoms and signs so මොකද වෙන්නේ මුල් දවස් ටිකේදී upper respiratory tract involved වෙන then පල්ලෙහාට බෑලා they will develop the lower respiratory tract symptoms so once it involves the bronchioles so bronchioles inflame vela so there will be a narrowing so what is the characteristic most characteristic 3 important symptoms මොනවද cough difficulty in breathing and wheezing cough difficulty in breathing and wheezing so that is the most important thing cough difficulty in breathing and wheezing ඕක තමයි ඉන්නේ ඒක පපුවට involve වුණාම ඕකනේ වෙන්නේ but since these children are very small so they can have so many other associations as well so since they are very small they can have feeding difficulty right කිරි බොන්න පුළුවන්ද බෑ ඇයි ළමයි කිරි බොන්න බැරි ළමයි එක කාරණා දෙකක් තියෙනවා එකක් තමයි ළමයි සාමාන්‍ය දැන් ඕගොල්ලන්ම දැන් බලන්න නහය වහගන්න so what will you do if I close යන්න මම ඕගොල්ලන්ගේ නහය වහුවොත් ඕගොල්ලෝ මොකද කරන්නේ what will you do you will what will you do you will breathe very good breathe through mouth cutting හුස්ම ගන්න නේ right good නමුත් ළමයි මේ පොඩි උන්ගේ අවුල මොකද්ද ඒගොල්ලෝ නහය බ්ලොක් වුණොත් they don't know what to do so මොනවා කරන්න දන්නේ නැහැ ඒගොල්ලෝ just stay right so that's the problem so ඒගොල්ලෝ දන්නවා කිරි බොන්න ඕනේ කියලා that's a reflex හැබැයි නහය වහුණොත් මොකද්ද කරන්න ඕනේ දන්නේත් නැහැ so ඒගොල්ලන් මොකද වෙන්නේ එකපාර මොකද වෙන්නේ කිරි බොන්න ගියාම so they will have difficulty in breathing and they might have aspirations and they can suddenly they can become නහය වහුවම they don't know cutting හුස්ම ගන්න ඕනේ so they suddenly become apneic and they just become cyanose right so keep in your mind bronchiolitis කියන එක සමහර වෙලාවට not the typical cough difficulty in breathing wheezing විතරක් නෙමෙයි so they might develop sometimes apneic spells just they become apneic they stop breathing sometimes they can become cyanose right and sometimes they can become they can have feeding difficulties as well right so those are also very characteristic for that what is important so sometimes in SBAs single best answers we might mention it අපි mention කරන්න පුළුවන් this child is a 3-month-old child presented with cough difficulty in breathing and cyanosis apnea and cyanosis so when there's an apnea and cyanosis again it's possible to have it can be even bronchiolitis so it's common right even in so there are so many other conditions are there where they can develop apnea and cyanosis but the bronchiolitis is also an extremely important condition right so I said cough difficulty in breathing and wheezing that is very obvious so පාඩම් කරන්න ඕනේමද නැහැනේ that is obvious lower respiratory tract involved වුණා but at the same time they can develop cyanosis and apnea cyanosis and difficulty in breathing and keep in your mind so in neonate cannot involve because then sometimes their thermoregulatory centers are not mature so suddenly they goes into an hypothermia so shall I ask a question so tell me if a child develops an sepsis what is the initial most of the time what is the initial sign characteristic sign will be what sepsis එකක් bacterial sepsis එකක් send me an answer ළමයි very common අපි අහන questions වල කෙනෙක් කියලා තියෙනවා. Very good. Very good. Very good, Melanie. Very good, Deshan. Very good. ළමයි මතකද? Not the fever. Not the fever. සමහර fever කියලා level තියෙන. ළමයි මතක තියාගන්න. So most of the time we think that when they develop sepsis, definitely they should have high grade fever. No. In neonates, of course, their thermoregulate centers are immature. Fever is a very late sign of sepsis. So, ඒ කියන්නේ හොඳටම තදයටම ගිහිලා. So what is the initial sign? They just මොකද whatever the insult. මොනවද neonate කෙනෙක්ට insult එකක් වෙන්නේ? They just will have hypothermia. So hypothermia is the most important, not the hyper, right? So that is very important, right? ඔගොල්ලෝ practically neonate කෙනෙක්ගෙන් බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්න එපා තද උනේ. ඒ කියන්නේ අන්තිමට ඒ කියන්නේ හොඳටම තදයට ඇවිල්ලා. So most of the time they will develop hypothermia, right? Following sepsis initiate, right? That is very important, very practical. neonate කෙනෙක් ඔක් දන්නේ නැතුව හරියම මේවා, right? So tell me again මට කියන්න. So if a child develop an hyperthermia or high temperature, what is the commonest cause? දැන් උණ ළම්බ අම්මලා ගේනවනේ ළමයි නියෝනේට් එක ගේනවා උණ තිබ්බා කියලා. මේවා temperature. Very good, Melanie. Very good, Sri Lanka. Very good. What is that? The dehydration. Dehydration. අම්මා කිරි පොවලා නැත්තම් තමයි ළමයි ගොඩක් වෙලේට කිරි බීලා නැත්තම් බබා කිරි බීලා නැත්තම් තමයි ගොඩක් වෙලේ temperature එක වැඩි වෙන්නේ. So you should know, right? ඔය තමයි අපි අහන්නේ. අපි exams වලදී අහන්නේ ළමයි the practical things. So අපි ළමයන්ගෙන් බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා exam එකේදී ඕගොල්ලෝ දොස්තර කෙනෙක් වශයෙන් common දේවල් මේ අත්‍යවශ්‍ය common දේවල් දන්නවද කියලා. If you don't know that, then it's a huge problem. මේ කියන්නේ practically අවශ්‍ය වෙන මේ අපි හැමදේම SBA ඔක්කොම හදන්නේ practical case scenarios. long case එකේ අහන්නේ practical දේවල්. කවදාකවත් අහන්නේ නැහැ නිකන් theory එකේ මේවා, right? So MCQ එකට විතරයි චුට්ටක් theory facts අහන්නේ. ඊටු ඔක්කොම practical දේවල්. ඔයගොල්ලන්ට කවදාකවත් exam pass වෙන්න බෑ. practically ward එකේ දෙන දේවල් ගැන zero idea එකක් එක්ක, right? මොකද SBA එක exam question මේක pass වෙන්න එපා. එහෙම නැතුව බෑ. cases pass වෙන්න බෑ කීයටවත්. Right? So keep in your mind. So these are very practical things. So you should have a very clear idea. Good, very good, right? So happy that some students knew about that. Good. Right. So as I mentioned, so here also, the important point is in neonates, whatever the insult, they can go into hypothermia. Here also, even in bronchiolitis, sometimes in neonates, they can go into hypothermia. Good. Now, so what are the initial symptoms? So first 3 days, they will develop coryzal symptoms with low-grade fever. Then they will develop the day 3 onwards, the classical respiratory symptoms. And sometimes there are cyanosis, apnea, cyanosis, feeding difficulties, and even hypothermia in neonates. Good. Now, tell me, what are the signs, clinical signs you are going to elicit? Then short case එකේදී තහන්න ඔයා ගැලපෙන්නේ නැතිව කියන්න බෑ. මේක තියෙනවා wrong කය හැනවා, crepitations හැනවා, fine කියනවා, course කියනවා, percussion මේක එහෙම කියන්න බෑ. It should be very rational, right? That's why most of the students get failed. This is my pediatrics is so easy if you know the very concepts. So you don't need to study even, right? Right, you don't need to study. These are very practical, very easy things. Now tell me, when a patient comes to you, so what are the clinical signs you might be able to elicit? So it depends on the severity. Sometimes if it is very mild, you will find only the auscultatory findings. But if it is something significant, moderate to severe attack, you will find the symptom signs in the general and the general examination and the inspection of the precordium as well as auscultatory findings. So what are the things? Lamai, keep in your mind. So this is something viral, no? So what will happen? So what is the common thing? So they will have signs of respiratory distress. Husma ganna amaruයි නම් ළමයි මොකද වෙන්නේ? They will have signs of respiratory distress නේ. So what are the signs of respiratory distress? So one thing is the respiratory distress can their respiratory rate should be increased. So what is that? So they will become tachypnea. So tachypnea is very common, very severe. මම නම් ළමයි ගොඩාක් කියලා දැන් ward round එක කරද්දි මම කරන්නේ අපිට වෙලාවක් නැහැනේ පටපට ගාලා බලන්න බෑ. attendant කෙනෙක්ට කියනවා කට්ටියගෙම අම්මලාට කියන්න කියලා බබාලගේ t-shirt ගාලවලා තියන්න කියලා. ඒකට ළඟට ගිහින් සමහර වෙලාවට ළමයි වෙලාව නැත්නම් අපිට just looking at the child we can have an idea. මේ පපුව බලද්දි ළමයා tachypnic නම් signs of respiratory distress, intercostal, subcostal, suprasternal recession. මේ recessions වල බහිනවනම් මේ intercostal subcostal recessions තියෙනවනම් suprasternal recessions තියෙනවනම් accessory muscles use වෙනවනම් so child is in respiratory distress කියන්නේ ළමයා හොඳට ළමයා bad ළමයා එහෙම නැහැ acute side එකට අරන් oxygen දෙන්න ඕනේ so it's pulse oximeter එක check කරන්න ඕනේ so you will get an idea these are very practical things so you will notice signs of respiratory distress where child will be tachypneic at the same time you will see intercostal subcostal suprasternal recessions and use of accessory muscles ඕක දකින්න sometimes even you might see nasal flaring නහය මෙහෙම flares වෙනවා nasal flaring also possible right so those are the characteristic that indicates the severity of the lung disease so at the same time so they will be during inspection sometimes you might see during inspection of the precordium you might see something characteristic in child with bronchiolitis what is that දකින්න පුළුවන් very good, Damien. What is that? Very good, Shehan. You will notice signs of hyperinflated lung. Lung එක මොකද දෙන්නේ හොඳට පිම්බි අයි මං කිව්වේ හැම වෙලෙම හැම inspiration එක there will be an air trapping will be there. So there will be an hyperinflated chest එකක් දැක්කම මොකද sometimes there will be an increased AP diameter and as well as මොකද liver එක push down වෙන්න පුළුවන්. So sometimes you might feel an palpable liver. Sometimes in SBS also in the case scenario they might mention it as there is a palpable liver right so ඒක දකින්න පුළුවන් commonly so that will be there right so the percussion again sometimes they can be hyperresonant or few dull patchy areas may be there now the more important thing is one is the auscultation so when we are discussing about the auscultation now tell me so in auscultation what are the important clinical symptoms and signs so tell me what will be more prominent so they can be rhonchi they can be crepitations so they can be if the rhonchi the crepitations කියන්න ඒක rhonchi the crepitations the inspirations the expirations කියන්න crepitation නම් find the cause කියලා කියන්න ඕනේ so which will be more prominent ගොඩක් දෙනෙක් කියලා තියෙනවා very good all right good that's really happy ළමයි මතක තියන්න so you might hear diffuse bilateral diffuse both rhonchi as well as crepitations but keep in your mind the rhonchi are more rhonchi are more prominent than the crepitation පැහැදිලිද the bilateral diffuse rhonchi and crepitations will be there but the rhonchi will be more prominent than the crepitations and if you can hear some crepitations where you will find end inspiratory crepitation not the cause right so here දැන් අහයි මේක කොහොමද පාඩම් කරන්නේ මේවයි කට පාඩම් කරන්නේ මෙහෙමයි කියලා now tell me I will ask some questions so tell me in asthma what will you hear commonly asthma එකේ දෙකම එන්න පුළුවන් but commonly what තමයි send me an answer asthma crepitations asthma rhonchi very good තව එකක් අහමු එක අපි ඔයගොල්ලෝ මෙඩිසින් උත් ඉගෙන ගන්නවා නම් ළමයි ඉතින් මම මේවා කමක් නැහැ නේ අහන එක so tell me interstitial lung disease what will you hear හරියට ඕනේ inspiration the expiration the early the late the end the inspiration the නැත්නම් ඒකත් එක find the cause the ඔය ඔක්කොම ටික එක එන්න ඕනේ answer එකේ right නිකන් steps කියලා බෑ good bronchiectasis වල මොකක්ද දෙන්නේ bronchiectasis ඒක ටිකක් පාඩම් කරලා තියෙනවා okay so bronchiectasis වලට main DD එක මොකක්ද so many students Many students have mentioned as co-strep. So what is the main DD for bronchiectasis? Not the cystic fibrosis, that is something etiological thing. Ah, very good, Sri Lanka. Ah, very good. Good. So acute heart failure, or the pulmonary edema. What will you hear? So it's not very difficult. Very good, right? So lamai, it's not so difficult. So here, lamai mehemen lamai. දැන් හිතන්න ළමයි. කාරණා දෙකයින් ළමයි වෙන්න පුළුවන්. එකක් තමයි ළමයි මේ එයාවේ path එක block වෙන්න පුළුවන්. There can be a narrowing of the, right? So other thing is there can be a fluid accumulation. There can be fluid accumulation in the fluid accumulation. So fluid accumulation can be in the bronchial tree, or the fluid accumulation can be in the alveoli space. Alveoli or the interstitial space. Alveoli or the interstitial space. මතක තියාගන්න ළමයි. කවුරු හරි එක්කෙනෙක්ගේ එයාවේ එක narrow වුණා. What will happen? So ඔයා හරියට නිකන් බටන් ලාවක් narrow වුණා වගේ. කියලා පිම්බහ මොකද වෙන්නේ? යාලා sound එක එනවනේ. Right? So here also same. So මතක තියාගන්න narrow වුණොත් මොකද වෙන්නේ ළමයි? So you will hear if there's an airway obstruction or if there's airway narrowing is there, what will you hear? Airway narrowing එකක් තිබ්බොත්. So you will hear ronchi, or even wheezing. Ronchi. So you commonly hear during the inspiration or expiration. හුස්ම ගද්දි දෙන්නේ හුස්ම පිට කරද්දිද? ළමයි, as I mentioned, so during inspiration, due to the negative pressure, ගාලා ගද්දි මේවා හොඳට expand වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. But when there's an during expiration due to the positive pressure, මේක හැම වෙලෙම collapse චුට්ටක් හරි collapse වෙන්න බලනවා. මතක තියන්න ඔයගොල්ලෝ physics වලත් ඉගෙනගෙන තියෙනවද? Radius is disproportionately equal to the resistance කියලා. Diameter එක පොඩ්ඩක් අඩු වෙද්දි resistance එක ඒ වගේ ගොඩකින් වෙනස් වෙනවා. Right? So මේක මේ චුට්ටක් narrow වෙච්ච ගාම මොකද වෙන්නේ? හෝ ගාලා resistance add වෙනවා. So you will hear a significant sound during the expiration. So the ronchi will be more prominent during expiration. So sometimes they can have fluid accumulation. මෙන්න මේ bronchial tree එකේ fluid accumulate වෙන්න පුළුවන්. For example, bronchiectasis. For example, bronchopneumonia. So what will you hear? මතක තියාගන්න මේ වතුර අස්සෙන් ගාලා යද්දි වතුරේ අස්සෙන් එයා යද්දි මොකද ගාලා එන quality එක sound එකට මොකද්ද වෙන්නේ? We call it as the coarse crepitation. So here, if there's accumulation of the fluid in the bronchial tree, you will hear coarse crepitation. So what an inspiration, the expiration. ළමයි හුස්ම ගද්දිත් වතුර එක අස්සෙන් ගාලා යනවා. හුස්ම පිට කරද්දිත් වතුර එක අස්සෙන් යනවා. So you will hear in both inspiration and expiration. That's why in bronchiectasis, you will hear coarse crepitations in both inspiration and expiration. Right? So fluid in the airway will cause coarse crepitations in the both inspiration and expiration. දැන් හිතන්න මේ හරිය alveoli වල වතුර ඉතුරු වුණා. or alveoli මේක. or interstitium එක involve වුණා. For example, there is an pulmonary edema. For example, interstitial lung disease. For example, ARDS. අන්න මෙතන fluid එකතු වුණා. මොකද වෙන්නේ? So ඔයාට මෙතනට මේ වෙද්දි ගාලා හොඳ breath එකක් හොඳ deep breath එකක් ගත්තාම මොකද වෙන්නේ? හරිය නිකන් ගාලා බටේකින් ගාලා මේව කරනවා. So you will hear so many bubbling sound. So එහෙම වුණොත් මොකද වෙන්නේ? So you will hear what? කෙලවරෙම ඇහෙන්නේ ඒ quality එකට තමයි අපි කියන්නේ fine crepitations. So කෙලවර එකට මේ fine. So කොයි වෙලේද ඇහෙන්නේ? Most of the time you will hear ගාලා මේකට අන්තිම terminal part එකේදී පිඹින්නේ ගාලා මේව එද්දි තමයි ඇහෙන්නේ. So you will hear during the end inspiration. right? Not the during the end inspiration. හරිද? එතකොට මතක තියාගන්න හොඳ හුස්මක් ගන්නදිට ඔය එක්ස්පිරේට් වෙද්දි ළමයි බබ්ලින් ඒක වෙන්නේ නැහැ නේ හොඳට පිඹගෙන ඉඳි අන්තිම මොහොතේ ඩර් ගාලා එනවා. So that's the nature. So find preparations in the inspiration. So ඒක තමයි ළමයි කියන්නේ කවුරු හරි ඕ දැන් ඔයාට ඕනේ ප්‍රශ්නයකට උත්තර දෙන්න පුළුවන් දා commonly so COPD commonly මොනවද ඇහෙන්නේ? bronchi. Right, few crepitations එන්න පුළුවන් if there's a fluid accumulate infective exacerbation එකකට පස්සේ but the bronchi will be more prominent. So bronchiectasis asthma මොකද්ද? bronchi will be prominent. Bronchiectasis මොකද්ද prominent? co-script. Bronchopneumonia more prominent. co-scripts. හැබැයි bronchiectasis as I previously mentioned කරා the final results will be fibrosella මේක narrow වෙනවා. So they will hear few bronchi as well but the co-scriptations will be more prominent. Pulmonary edema, fine crepes in the end inspiration. Interstitial lung disease, fine crepes in the end inspiration. ඕනෙම එකකට උත්තර දෙන්න පුළුවන්ද ළමයි? ඕනෙම එකකට answers දෙන්න පුළුවන්. මතක තියාගන්න ළමයි medicine කියන්නේ මේ මම හැමදාම කියන්නේ මොකද්ද ළමයි දෙවියන් වහන්සේ මේ ලෝකෙ මවලා තියෙන්නේ මොකද්ද? medical students ලට පාඩම් කරන්න ලේසි වෙන්න. මේ හැමදේම ළමයි තියෙන පාඩම් කරන්න ලේසි වෙන්න. හැමදේම හරි rational, හරිම simple. අමුතුවෙන් මහා කටපාඩම් කරන්න දෙයක් නැහැ. ඔච්චර අමාරු exam එකක් නම් ළමයි අපි තියන්නේ නැහැ මේ පිට රටක ඉඳලා එන ඕනෙම ડોක්ටර් කෙනෙක්ට ලංකාව වැඩ කරන්න තියෙන chance එකක් තියෙන exam එකක්. මේක හරි simple. Complicate කරගන්නේ කවුද? ඒක ඕගොල්ලෝ. Right? අපි මම දැන් මම නම් ඔයගලන් simple කරලා කරන්න තියෙන simple method එක කියලාද පාඩම් කරන්න තියෙන ඔයගලන් 120යි 180ක්ම just have an under මේක තේරුම් ගන්න. තේරුම් ගත්තට පස්සේ කිසි දෙයක් පාඩම් කරන්න තියනවාද ළමයි කිසිම දෙයක් පාඩම් කරන්නේ නැහැ. These are very easy. කවුරු හරි එක්කෙනෙක් කොයි වෙලාවක හරි આવුවොත් bronchopneumonia what are the auscultatory findings? එන්නේ. Lobar pneumonia ආවා. Again මොකද්ද lobar pneumonia? You will hear fine crepitation in the end inspiration. But during after treatment initial resolve වෙද්දි මොකද වෙන්නේ පොඩ්ඩක් මේ ටික අඩු වෙනවා අඩු වෙලා උඩට push වෙනවා so then you might hear some coarse crepitation ඒක සමහර පොත්වල ඇති lobar pneumonia coarse creps yes after resolving pneumonia resolving period එකේදී coarse creps එන්න පුළුවන් otherwise yeah. So ඕනෙම එකකට මොකක්ද එන්නේ fibrosis pulmonary fibrosis fine crepitations collapse fine creps ඕනෙම එකකට මොකක්ද ළමයි answers දෙන්න පුළුවන්. It's easy, right? So now bronchiolitis is a චූටි පොඩි මේකක් තියෙනවා පොඩ්ඩක් වෙනස් ඒක පොඩ්ඩක් ඔළුවේ තියාගන්න ඕනේ. Again, I told you there will be a narrowing or the inflammation and the narrowing of the bronchioles. So you will hear bronchi mainly, but you will hear මොකක්ද ඇහෙන්නේ crepitations. මතක තියාගන්න bronchioles කිව්වට it's almost the most terminal. That is the terminal respiratory bronchioles. It's almost similar to alveoli. මේක නිකම් pitch එක almost දෙකේම mixed එකක් වගේ. හරිද? pitch එක දෙකේ mixed එකක් වගේ. Most terminal part. It's almost like alveoli. ඒ හින්දා ඔයාට මොකද්ද කියන්න අපි කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? Fine crepitations in the end inspiration. Right? ඔන්න ඕක. මතක තියාගන්න ඈතට යද්දි තමයි more fine. වැඩියෙන්ම fineම දැනෙන්නේ කොයිද? Interstitium. So pulmonary edema the interstitial lung disease the වැඩියෙන්ම fine interstitial lung disease. Then the pulmonary edema and the bronchiolitis ඊට වඩා. Right? So ඒ වගේ තමයි එන්නේ. So මතක තියාගන්න. So here also as I mentioned so since there's an narrowing is more prominent so the bronchi will be more prominent. At the same time since it's involved the most terminal part of the bronchioles it's almost like the alveoli. So you will hear fine crepitation in the end inspiration. So if we ask any question, so you should be able to answer, right? So this is very easy, lamai. If you know these concepts, you can answer whatever the question. මතක තියන්න එක දෙයක්වත් කටපාඩම් කරන්න තියෙනවා ළමයි එක දෙයක් ඉගෙනනවාට කටපාඩම් කරන්න කිසිම මගෙන් ඉගෙන ගන්නවා නම් කිසිම දෙයක් කටපාඩම් කරන්න එපා මතක තියාගන්න ඔයගොල්ලෝ කටපාඩම් කරලා තමයි you that's the main reason you get failed in ERTM exam. That's the main reason you cannot get past all 6 subjects at the same time. Local faculty වල ගොඩක් දෙනෙක් මොකද එකපාර 6 subjects pass වෙනවා. හරිද? ERPM වල එහෙම pass වෙනවා අඩුයි. ඕගොල්ලෝ මතක තියාගන්න ඕගොල්ලෝ දන්නේ නැති වුණත් ළමයි මාස 6ක් delay වුණොත් මම ඕගොල්ලෝ පස්සේ තේරෙයි. ඕගොල්ලෝ government salary එක විතරක් ලක්ෂ 20කට වැඩිය විතර loss එකක් වෙනවා, right? keep that in your ඕගොල්ලන් දැන් තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ. පස්සේ මම කියන එක තේරෙයි. එහෙනම් මතකද මේ පොඩ්ඩක් හරි පාඩු එහාට යනවා කියන පාඩු වෙනවා. එක ෂොට් එකකින් ඉවර කරන්න. ඔගොල්ලෝ සමහර වෙලාවට exams පරක්කු වෙනවා මේකක් කතාව මේවා. හැබැයි ඔගොල්ලෝ ඊටත් වඩා ළමයි සමහර උතන ගොඩක් දෙනෙක් කතා කරන ළමයි මම දැකලා තියෙනවා මේ ෆස්ට් ටයිම් නෙමෙයි. ඔගොල්ලෝ ගොඩක් තාවම පරක්කු කරගෙන. ඕගොල්ලෝ විහිම. මේක එක ෂොට් එකකින් ඉවර කරන්න පුළුවන් එකක්. very easy ළමයි, very easy subjects. හැබැයි ළමයි ඕනෑමට වැඩි number of classes වත් number of questions වත් කිසිම දෙයක් වැදගත් නැහැ. මොකද ඔයා exam එකට යන්න කලින් දවසේ ඔයාගේ ඔළුවේ කොච්චරක් තියෙනවද කියලා. ඔළුවේ නැත්තම් ඔයාට exam එකට ලියන්න බෑ. ඔයා කොච්චර classes මෙච්චර කරා, මෙච්චර questions ගියා, මෙච්චර questions කරා, ප්‍රශ්න මෙච්චර ඉගෙනුවා කිසිම දෙයක් වැදගත් නැහැ. මොකද ඔළුවේ තියෙන්න ඕනේ exam එකට කලින් දවසේ. එක ළඟ subjects තියෙන්නේ. ඔයාට පළවෙනි දවසේකට පාඩම් කරා, තුන්වෙනි දවසේ exam එකට හවස් වරුවේ ගෙදර ඇවිල්ලා ඔක්කොම syllabus එක පාඩම් කරන්න බෑ. ඔයා perform කරන්න පුළුවන් chronic memory එකෙන් විතරයි. With your chronic memory. If you know the concepts, you can answer anything. If you don't know the concepts, and so if the what acute memory can what answer karanna bad, that's the reality. So ඔයගලන්ට exam එක කලින් දවසේ මම කියන දේ theory, right? So මතක තියාගන්න, try to understand the concepts, then you don't need to study, then you can work out and you can what post graduate එකක් වුණත් ඔය විදිහමම sit කරන්න පුළුවන් ළමයි. මොකද ඔය knowledge එකේ concepts දන්නවනම් ආය පාඩම් කරන්න දෙයක් නැහැ. ඔයාට ඕනෙම දෙයක් ළමයි exam එකක් කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඕනේ තරම් number. ඒ කියන්නේ subjects 6 වුණත් බය නැතුව කරන්න පුළුවන්. subjects 6 කටපාඩම් කරන්න ගියොත් facts 5ක් මේක 5 මේක 3 4 5 කොහොම පාඩම් කරන්න ගියොත් ළමයි බෑ. right bronchiectasis එන්නේ fine test. මේක එන්නේ course test. අරක එන්නේ මේක. එහෙම පාඩම් කරන්න ගියොත් you will definitely get failed. So you know the concepts, then you will be able to answer. Good. So when you get a patient like this, so if you now tell me, what are the differential diagnoses? Monod patient කෙනෙක් આવොත්. So when a patient comes to with low respiratory symptoms and signs, now you will during the clinical symptoms and signs and with the examination findings, you have to come to so you need to make a differential diagnosis, right? List of differential diagnosis. In your short cases as well as long cases also, they might ask, Mukad, what are your differential diagnosis skills? So what is the main differential diagnosis in bronchiolitis? What is the main DD? Good. Very good. ප්‍රධාන මේක තමයි ළමයි asthma. මොකද ළමයි ওই විදිහටම තමයි ඉන්නේ. මොකද the hyperinflated chest, the prominent bronchi, those things will be more in asthma. But it can be sometimes even the pneumonia, congenital heart disease, those are also possible DDs. So now, how are you going to differentiate asthma from this bronchiolitis? කොහොමද වෙන් කරගන්න ළමයි asthma bronchiolitis? මතක තියාගන්න ළමයි the asthma කියන එක දැන් exam එකේ අහන්න පුළුවන් in your long case they might ask how are you going to differentiate. So very good, you have sense. So there are several things out there, so keep in your mind asthma is not so common during the first year of life, especially first 2 years of life. අවුරුදු දෙකට අඩුවෙන් සාමාන්‍යයෙන් asthma itself common නැහැ unless they have a strong family history of atopic. කියන අම්මට asthma හරි තාත්තට asthma හරි එහෙම හරි මොකක් හරි strong family history of atopic එකක් නැත්නම් it's bit unlikely to be asthma in the first 2 years of age. So කවුරු හරි කෙනෙක් bronchi wheezing මේවා එක්ක එනවනම් more towards bronchiolitis පැත්තට බලන්න. But again, the asthma is a so common condition. සමහර වෙලාවට අම්මා තාත්තගෙන් ඇහුවොත් ඕ මටත් තිබ්බා කියලා කියන්න බලන්න. So it seems it is so common condition. So 10 දෙනෙක් ගත්ත 3 දෙනෙක්ට asthma තියෙනවනේ ළමයි. So it's very common. එහෙනම් ළමයි sometimes it's bit a fact එක විතරක් හරියන්නේ නැහැ. So you need to consider about other things as well. What else? Asthma වල මොකද්ද ළමයි? So asthma again it's more acute onset. So here what in bronchiolitis usually they will develop more 3 days of coryzal symptoms, then they develop the lower respiratory tract symptoms. But in asthma what they will most of the time previous day nocturnal cough, then they develop the wheezing and respiratory signs. So it will be more acute onset comparatively. Again, it's not 100%. So again, other thing is what the bronchiolitis, they will have more seasonal variation. So ලංකාවේ නම් ඒක ගොඩාක්ම නැහැ, but again December කාලේට වැඩි. So December, January. So it's more seasonal, recurrent condition, but the seasonal variation will be more in bronchiolitis. The asthma ke aya eනවා recurrently. Recurrent attacks නිතර එනවා without any seasonal variation. Bronchiolitis extra frequently, so they will develop වින්ටර් එකේ කාලේ තමයි එන්නේ. ගිය අවුරුද්දේ ආව ඊළඟ අවුරුද්දේ සමහර වෙලාව වින්ටර් එකේ එන්න පුළුවන්. That's what happens, right? So ඒ වගේ more seasonal variation will be more in bronchiolitis, right? So as I mentioned again, the age, so the frequency of episode, the recurrent episodes, and the natural history where there's the seasonal variation and the onset of the symptoms. So those things will help to differentiate the asthma from bronchiolitis, but it's a bit difficult. That's why the main differential diagnosis is asthma. So what is the next one? Next, what is the next important DD? Bronchopneumonia. That's of course very easy. Bronchopneumonia, how can you differentiate? One thing is bronchiolitis, they will develop low-grade fever. But the bronchopneumonia, they will develop high-grade fever. So most of the time, the bronchopneumonia, what is the commonest etiology? What is the commonest etiology? The organism maker. Bronchopneumonia. Send me an answer. What is the most important? Bacterial, of course. What is the most important organism in bronchopneumonia? Very good. No, Shehan, even so, streptococcus again, it's but it's but we commonly discuss about when we mention streptococcus. Mainly, we are discussing about lobe pneumonia. It's more important in lobe. When we see some patchy bronchopneumonic patches, so definitely we need to suspect staph. Especially in infancy, they can develop staph. So ඒකයි කියන්නේ staph එකක් ආවා කියන ළමයි more හරි භයානකයි, so they will develop high fever. So here bronchopneumonia, high fever, bronchiolitis, low grade fever. Again, examiner might ask, what else? How can you differentiate? What else? What are the other features? Of course, Mukadda, very good. Mukadda with the auscultation. Auscultation one. So bronchiolitis, you will hear bronchi will be more prominent, but the bronchopneumonia, the co-script will be more prominent. It will help to. So then the heart failure. So congestive cardiac failure. Again, sometimes you might feel a liver as well. So again, how I can differentiate congestive cardiac failure from bronchiolitis? Very good. One thing is most of the time when there's a congestive cardiac failure, most of the children develop following a congenital heart disease. So you will hear and murmur. Other thing is the auscultation. Yes, but heart failure නම් මොකක්ද ඇහෙන්නේ? මම ඉස්සෙල්ලා කිව්වා pulmonary edema ඇවිල්ලා මොකක්ද ඇහෙන්නේ? You will hear fine crepitations and inspiratory fine crepitations. But in asthma, you will hear bronchiolitis, you will hear rhonchi mainly. Right? So heart failure, the fine crepitations will be more prominent. The bronchiolitis, the rhonchi will be more prominent. Clear there? Good. So those are the symptoms and signs. So with that, you can easily differentiate these conditions. Now, tell me. Now, if a patient comes to you, now patient කෙනෙක් on a respiratory signs now you analyze clinically. Now you are suspecting bronchiolitis. Now, what are you going to do? So what are you going to do? Investigations or not? Is it necessary, must or not? Is it necessary? Definitely. No, it's not a must. Very good. Why? Most of the time, these are not very severe conditions. So it is very common, but most of the time it's not so severe. So with that, most of the time, so it's not necessary to do investigation. This is completely a clinical diagnosis. The diagnosis is mainly the clinical diagnosis. So you don't need to do investigation. But if the child develops a moderate to severe attack, of course, then you need to consider about doing investigation. So what are the investigations you need to do? Moderate to severe, sometimes it can be pneumonia, sometimes it can be something nasty viral organism, so you need to exclude. So if something like moderate attack, you need to do some full blood count as well as chest x-ray. Full blood count and chest x-ray. So full blood count, what will you see? It will be Yeah, it will be normal, most of normal. You will not find anything, right? But it will help to exclude bronchopneumonia. Bronchopneumonia and the WBC will be sky high, but here it will be normal. So it will just will be helps to differentiate from bronchopneumonia. Other than there is no much significant value. But if you take a chest X-ray, what will you notice? So it's not a must, but again, for moderate to severe attack, you may need to consider about doing an chest X-ray. So if there's a moderate to severe attack, definitely they will have some significant clinical symptoms or significant X-ray features. So what is the commonest main X-ray feature is what? Very good. They will have hyperinflated chest. They will be there was an air trapping. So they will have hyperinflated chest. At the same time, they might have few atelectasis fractures, right? So so most of the children with moderate to severe respiratory distress will have these characteristic sign: hyperinflated chest and the atelectasis patches. So that will have one thing is that you will see that sign. At the same time, you will be able to differentiate from the other nasty condition. Now, just in case, for example, මේකට MCQ වලදී අහන්නේ just I'm telling for example, OSCE එකකදී හරි long case එකේ හරි you say they might okay, you said the hyperinflated chest, no, so what will you notice during if you get an if I give you an X-ray, what will you notice in the X-ray කියලා ඇහුවොත් මොකද ඔයා කියන්නේ? Very good, very good. I mean, how is lazy? So hyperinflated lungs ලොකු වෙලා නේද? Lungs ලොකු වෙලා නම් මොකද වෙන්නේ? So they lungs ලොකු උනේ මොකක් හින්දාද? There was an air trapping was there, no? So when there's so much of air accumulation is there, the lung fields will be what? More dark. So they will be more blackish, more dark. That is called oligoemic lung fields will be there, bilateral oligoemic lung fields. At the same time, what will happen? So when there's an hyperinflated chest, so it can push the heart. So and the mediastinum. So they will have mediastinal narrowing. At the same time, they can push the heart. So you will notice something like teardrop heart. So when there's an again push the diaphragm, you will see flattening of the diaphragm. At the same time, while ribs count karagane at the anterior side, you will be able to count more than 6 ribs. So flattening of the diaphragm, and as well as you will be able to count more than 6 ribs. And මේ පැත්ත තල්ලු වුණාම මොකද වෙන්නේ? You will see widening of the intercostal space. So that's very simple. So there is a hyperlucency or the more blackish or the oligoemic lung fields, narrowing of mediastinum, narrowing of heart, which causes teardrop shape, flattening of the diaphragm, can count more than 6 ribs in the anteriorly. At the same time, they will. So those are the X-ray features. වැඩේ ලේසිද? මහදයක් නැහැ. OSCE එකකදී අහුවොත්, long case එකකදී අහුවොත්, you can answer, but they will not ask in your MCQs. Good. Now, tell me, ඕක තමයි basically කරන්නේ. But so there are few exceptions are there. For example, patient කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා for severe acute respiratory distress. Severe acute respiratory distress එකක් ආවොත් මොකද වෙන්නේ? So you need to think. One thing is whether child has gone into respiratory failure, because after each breath, when there's a carbon dioxide accumulation, so later on they might develop type 2 respiratory failure, where there will be an hypoxia, but at the same time there will be an hypercarbia, carbon dioxide accumulation, which is called a type 2 respiratory failure, which needs mechanical ventilation. Carbon dioxide ටික flush off කරලා දාන්න mechanical ventilation ඕනේ. So you need to assess ළමයා හොඳටම හුස්ම ගන්න අමාරු නම් මැරෙන්න කිට්ටු වෙලා නම් severe respiratory distress තියෙනවා නම් මොකද ඔයා obviously මොකද common sense මොකද කරන්න ඕනේ? සමහර වෙලාවට arterial blood gas analysis. So when the child has gone into respiratory failure. At the same time, what is the next investigation you need to do? සමහර වෙලාවට you මෙහෙම එනවා සාමාන්‍ය respiratory syncytial virus monkey මොකද ගැරන්ඩියා වගේ. It's not so nasty virus. But there are a few exceptions are there which may cause severe acute respiratory distress. For example, influenza, para-influenza, those are very nasty viruses. So you may need to exclude. If it is something very severe, you may need to do some virus nasopharyngeal aspirate or nasopharyngeal secretion or nasopharyngeal aspirate, and you can do some PCR to identify whether it is due to respiratory syncytial virus or something like influenza or mild influenza or something like para-influenza, you can do virus isolation. So nasopharyngeal aspirate PCR and virus isolation. So to differentiate whether it is respiratory syncytial virus or whether it occurred due to something else. So මොකද ළමයි හදිස්සියවත් some respiratory syncytial virus වලට specifically අපි treat කරන්නේ නැහැ. නමුත් ගොඩක් වෙලෙට ඒ වගේ severe and some other days and there are few specific treatments are there. For example, influenza you can give some oseltamivir or the Tamiflu දෙන්න පුළුවන්. Respiratory syncytial virus කියලා sure නම් ගොඩාක් severe නම් you can consider about ribavirin. So ඒ වගේ specific conditions are, so if it is very severe, so you can do that investigation as well. But routinely we don't do any investigation for mild disease, moderate to severe also. We just do only full blood count and chest X-ray. You do ABG or virus isolation only for very severe disease and if you are not so sure about the diagnosis. Clear? So ඕක තමයි වැදගත් දේ. Now, if a patient comes to you, now for example, now patient might comes to you with an severe respiratory distress, right? Now you are clinically suspecting bronchiolitis with the typical history and the examination. Now, how are you going to manage? So in your long case or even your emergency viva also, they might ask, මොකද ඔයා කරන්නේ? So before that, all right, so how are you going to manage? What is the initial first step you are going to do? ඕනම emergency එකක? Oh, of course, you need to do airway breathing circulation. Now tell me, so to manage this usually normal in a child with moderate to severe respiratory distress, how are you going to manage the airway? කොහොමද airway එක manage කරන්නේ? Send me an answer. Five එකේදී exam එක આવොත් මොකද කියන්නේ? පුතා ඔයා කොහොමද airway එක යාගේ maintain කරන්නේ? කිව්වොත් how are you going to answer? Airway. Oxygen needs to breathe for breathing. Airway. Yeah, you clear, suck out the secretions. Okay, if there's no significant කටේ නෑනේ සෙක් නාය පොඩ්ඩක් තියෙන කියලා. What else? That's not that's correct, but more than that, මොකද කරන්නේ? airway එක maintain කරන්න. Prop up කරන්නේ නැද්ද? Head tilt, chin lift, tube insertion, head elevation. ළමයි, you are going to kill the child, right? ළමයි ඔහොම ඉන්න පොඩි එකාව ගිහිලා මෙහෙම තියලා ඔළුව උස්සන්න මෙහෙම කරන්න එහෙම කියන්නේ නැහැ. Right? මොකද්ද වා කරන්නේ? මොකද්ද කරන්නේ? ළමයි, keep the child in the most comfortable position. Right? පොඩි එකාව ගිහිලා this is pediatrics. මෙතන ගිහිලා ඒකනේ ළමයි pediatrics කියන්නේ හරි සුන්දර එකක්. This is not like medicine. වයසක මේවා වගේ නෙමෙයි ගිහිලා medicine වල ළමයි වැඩක් නැහැනේ. බෙහෙත් දුන්නත් හොඳ වෙන්නේත් නැහැ. hypertension කියෝ කරන්න පුළුවන්, diabetes කියෝ කරන්න පුළුවන්, arthritis කියෝ කරන්න පුළුවන්. කිසිම ලෙඩක් හොඳ කරන්න බෑනේ medicine වල. Right? ඒ වගේම දෙන්න මනුස්සයත් මැරෙනවා. CKD හොඳ කරන්නත් බෑ, cirrhosis හොඳ කරන්නත් බෑ, කිසිම දෙයක් හොඳ කරන්නත් බෑ. වාට්ටුවේ දකින් ලෙඩක් මැරලා ළමයි ගොඩක් කෙලෙට, right? So හැමදාම ආච්චිලා එකම complaint එක කියාගෙන කොන්ද රිදෙනවා පුතා, pressure මේවා කරගේ කිසිම වැඩක් නැහැ medicine. Surgery වල මොකද ළමයි කළා මලා. Gynecology මොකද්ද වැදගත් නැහැ, එක organ එකකට ward දෙකක් නැහැ. Peds එහෙම නෙමෙයි ළමයි. Peds කියන්නේ හරිම short, ඒක හරිම friendly, හරිම ලස්සනයි, හරිම මේවා. So මේගොල්ලන්ගේ ළමයි ගිහිලා එකපාර බෙල් මිරිකලා වගේ ගිහිලා ඇඳේ දාලා හිටපන් කියලා ඔලු කෙලික් කරන්නේ. So you keep the child in the most comfortable position. If the child is comfortable on mother's lap, so let it be, right? අම්මගේ මේකේ තියෙනවා, right? කොහොම තියන්න තියෙන්නේ, right? වෙන මොකොත් නැහැ. So the child will be okay with that, right? So then you give මතක තියන්න. Now bronchiolitis වල ළමයි මැරෙන්න පුළුවන්. ළමයි මැරෙනවා, right? Not so common, but yes, possible. It's an emergency. So what are the commonest causes for cause of death in bronchiolitis? වැඩියෙන්ම මැරෙන ප්‍රධාන conditions දෙක මොනවද? So there are two conditions are there which might cause death in bronchiolitis. ඔය දෙක දැනගන්න ඕනේ. මොකද ඔයා ඒ දෙකට තමයි treat කරන්න ඕනේ. Right? What is it? Come on, guys. Yeah, very good. They mean. ළමයි මතක තියාගන්න එකක් තමයි respiratory failure, respiratory arrest ඇවිල්ලා මැරෙන්නේ. So our respiration එක support එක දෙන්න ඕනේ. For example, if the child is on having moderate to severe respiratory distress, of course you need to maintain their oxygenation and you may make sure that the oxygenation is okay, right? So respiratory failure is the most important thing. What is the next most important one? ඔය දෙක දන්නවා නේද? ඔයාට ඕන එකකට ආන්සර් කරත හැකියි. So again, the apnea also indirectly causes respiratory failure. No? BO is what? Bronchiolitis of the no. Bronchiolitis of the trans. Ah, very good. Very good. What is that? Ah, the dehydration. They die due to the dehydration part. ළමයි. මැරෙන dehydrate වෙලා දෙවෙනි cause එක. Okay. So most of the children die due to hypoxia and the respiratory failure. Respiratory arrest. The next most common condition is the dehydration. So the main මතක තියාගන්න අපි පන්න exam එකේ අහන්නේ whether you are aware about that concept. So whether you are aware about that concept, if you know that concept, and as an house officer, if you know that concept, and if you are managing the airway as well as if you are maintaining the hydration, managing the oxygenation and then maintaining the hydration, then you are a very good HO. So අපිට HO විදිහට බාර ගන්න පුළුවන් නැත්නම් බෑ. Right? So make sure that you have maintained the oxygenation as well as the hydration. That is the most important thing. So again, මොකද්ද කරන්න ළමයි? So you can give ළමයා keep the child in the most comfortable position and you attach a pulse oximeter. So your target saturation should be more than 92%. 92%කට වඩා තියෙනවා නම් සාමාන්‍ය ළමයා okay. So if the child saturation is less than 92%, you have to give oxygen. So oxygen can be given via several ways. You can give via nasal prongs, face mask, head box. Either is okay. You can give whatever the way. කිසිම ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. Right? So ඕක තමයි කරන්න ඕනේ. So වෙනස මොකද්ද? Nasal prong එකේදී you can reach the maximum amount of 2 liters. ඊට වඩා දෙන්න බෑ. හැබැයි face mask එකකින් ඔයාට සමහර 6 to 8 liters යනකම් දෙන්න පුළුවන්. That is the difference. So you can use whatever it is. But ඕන එකක් use කරන්න පුළුවන්. That is the difference. Right? So important thing is you need to maintain the saturation more than 92. But even with the high amount of oxygen, if the saturation is low and if the ABG shows type 2 respiratory failure, you may need to do ambu ventilation or the mechanical ventilation. The oxygen carbon dioxide accumulate වෙලා respiratory failure ගිහිල්ලා නම් ඔක්කොම මේ muscles exhaust වෙලා නම් එතකොට මොකද වෙන්නේ? හුස්ම ගන්න බෑ. You need to support the ventilation. So ඒක usually පොඩ්ඩ දෙනෙට තමයි require වෙන less than 2%. So that is to maintain the oxygenation. Right. The following එක තමයි maintain the oxygenation. Right. So the next most important thing is what? To maintain the hydration. So you need to give the fluid therapy. So ඒ දෙක තමයි තියෙන ඕක ගැන තමයි අපි පන්න අහන්නේ ළමයි. So right, fluid therapy. What are you going to give? Then so you can give මතක තියාගන්න, you have to hydrate very well. So මේ ළමයා කන්නේ කිරි බීලා නැතුව මේ child may have at during the presentation may child may have in deficit as well. So make sure that you assist the dehydration part and maintain maintain and good adequate hydration where you give the deficit as well as maybe the maintenance. So ඒකම ගානට settle කරලා දාන්න ඕනේ. So make sure, so the important thing is what? කාරණා දෙකක් තියෙනවා. එකක් තමයි ළමයා හුස්ම ගන්න අමාරු ළමනේ. So make sure child did not get aspirate. So make sure child did not get aspirate. The second most important thing is child is having at the moment also there is a lung pathology. So make sure child did not develop fluid overload and pulmonary edema. So those two things are the most important things. So මෙහෙමයි. ඒ හින්දා මොකද්ද? So if the child is not very respiratory distress, you can go for oral. If something respiratory distress, you can consider about giving NG. මොකද oral එකේ ප්‍රශ්නේ මොකද්ද ළමයා? oral significant respiratory distress එකක් නැත්නම් ළමයාට oral ගන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි මොකද කිරි බොන්න පුළුවන්, අම්මා කිරි බොන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි මොකද හොඳටම respiratory distress නම් what will happen? They will have aspiration. So if they develop an aspiration, again that will be an error. So එහෙමනම් මොකද if there is any significant respiratory distress, so there is a high chance of developing high chance of developing aspiration. So එහෙමනම් මොකද්ද? You can give IV fluids, but make sure child will not develop fluid overload. So be carefully maintain the hydration. So that is the next important thing. ඔයා ඔය විදිහට ඔය වැඩ දෙක කරනවා නම් අපි සතුටුයි. ඔයා HO කෙනෙක් විදිහට වැඩේ දන්නවා, වැඩේ ළමයාව බේර ගන්නවා. right? ඔයාගෙන් මට මතක ගිය පාරත් long short case එකකට පස්සේ මගේ practical එකකට විතරක් ආපු girl කෙනෙක් call කරලා කිව්වා exam එකෙන් පස්සේ සර් දැන් asthma management එක වෙනස් වෙලාද කියලා. මං ඇහුවා ඇයි කියලා. asthma වලට nebulize කරන්නේ නැද්ද කියලා. මං ඇහුවා ඇයි ඔයා එහෙම අහන්නේ කියලා. එතකොට කිව්වා නෑ examiner කිව්වා මේ දැන් ඔය nebulize කරන්නේ නැහැ salbutamol ඔහොම කියලා. මං ඇහුවා එහෙම එකක් නෑ. කවුද කියන්නේ? ඊට කිව්වා no I had an asthma case. So I asked how old the child was. 6 years කිව්වා. Okay. So what was the case? Asthma. How do you know කියලා? The child was sleeping. Then the examiners asked me to examine the child, but without disturbing the child. Okay, usually asthma case එක ගන්න ඉතින් එහෙම කියන්නේ නැහැ ළමයා පොඩි ළමයා නෙමෙයි අවුරුදු 6ක් නෑ sir මේ එහෙම තමයි කිව්වේ මේ so I examined the child then I bronchi so my diagnosis was asthma so I said මෙහෙම but කියලා so මං කිව්වා so since you did only the auscultation part you may have then enough time for discussion or they may have asked several questions so what did they ask කියලා so then ළමයා කියන්න ගත්තා ඔව් සර් ගොඩක් ඇහුවා කිව්වා how are you going to manage කිව්වහම ඇහුවා මම මැනේජ්මන්ට් එකේ ඒවා කියන් යද්දි nebulize කරනවා ඒවා කියද්දි නෑ ඕවා කරන්නේ නැහැ කිව්වලු මේ ළමයාට ඕවා කරන්නේ නැහැ කිව්වලු මං ඇහුවා ඒ ළමයා අවුරුදු 6ද මාස 6ද කියලා එතකොට ළමයා සර් ඒක නම් ටිකක් ෂුවර් නෑ මම මාස 6යි අවුරුදු 6ක් කියන ලොකු වෙනසක්. So 6 months is an infant. අවුරුදු 6 කියන ලොකු ඒක වෙනස නම් දැනගන්න ඕනේ. ඒක දන්නේ නැත්නම් exam fail වෙනවා. right? ඒ ළමයි මගේ practical එකකට විතරක් ආපු ළමයි. නමුත් ඉතින් මම ඒකයි කියන්නේ ළමයි. ඔය bronchiolitis මතක තියාගන්න nebulize කරන එක very effective in asthma, not so effective in bronchiolitis. අපි bronchiolitis ළමයෙක් ගැන management එකේ බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ මොකද්ද? Oxygenation, hydration. ඔයා ඔය answers දෙක දෙනවා නම් ඔයා pass. එතනින් එහා කිසි කතාවක් නැහැ. එතනින් එහා මොනවා කිව්වේ නැතත් ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. හැබැයි අර රටපටලව ගත්තොත් ළමයි then ප්‍රශ්නයක් right? So again වැදගත් key point එක මොකක්ද කියන්න ඕනේ නේද? main අපි බලාපොරොත්තු whether you know about that fact oxygenation and hydration. So few important things. So then after that what are you going to do? After maintaining oxygenation and hydration, just the symptomatic treatment. So symptomatic කිව්වම ළමයි ගොඩාක් මහා ලොකු දෙයක් නෑ. The main problem is what? So I said there is an associated nasal congestion. No, most of them will have nasal congestion. එහෙනම් මොකද්ද කරන්නේ? You put some nasal drops and you perform some oral or nasal suction. නහය තියෙන සෙමටික් අයින් කරනවා. මම නහය බ්ලොක් වුණොත් කටින් හුස්ම ගන්න දන්නේ නැහැ. So you remove those things and you can give some antihistamines depending on the age. That's all. So what are the other treatment modalities? So one option is bronchodilators. So bronchodilators කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? ඔයාට දෙන්න පුළුවන්. You can do some nebulization. No. The thing is there are so many options are there. So even we have tried nebulization, but the thing is that sometimes even the side effects will be more side effects will be more than this improvement of the symptoms. ඒක අපි ආගියතෙත් ඔහේ nebulize කරන්නේ නැහැ, right? So but you can do some nebulization. The options are, the available options are, one thing is ipratropium bromide, 3% sodium chloride, and the salbutamol. So you can give some trial. If there's any response to the treatment, you can continue. Otherwise, you don't continue nebulization. Because the mechanism is different. So asthma වල මොකද ළමයි උනේ? Asthma it occurs mainly in the older children. They will have significant amount of smooth muscles. So there is an hyper responsiveness of the smooth muscles. මේ smooth muscles වල hyper response tree මේකින්ද තමයි මේක constriction වෙන්නේ. ඒ හින්දා මොකද nebulize කරපු ගාම ටක් ගාලා symptoms relief වෙනවා. හැබැයි මේකද මොකද උනේ මේ epithelium එක damage වෙලා semi accumulate වෙනවා. Not the hyper responsiveness to the bronchioles. මේක එහෙම එකක් නෙමෙයි. The mechanism is totally different. Because of that, the response to this these bronchodilators will be very minimum. So sometimes even if you nebulize salbutamol, sometimes the side effects will be more. Make a oxygenation වෙන්නේ නැති තැන් වලට දීලා VQ mismatch වෙනවා, සමහරට tachycardia මේ වෙලා තව worse වෙන්න පුළුවන්. So especially in very young children ලට ඕගොල්ලෝ දන්නවා ස්මූත් මස්ල්ස් ඩිවෙලොප් වෙන්න 6 months විතර යනවා. මාස 6ක් යනවා. ඒතර මාස 2 3 ළමයට නෙබියුලයිස් කරොත් සල්බියුටමෝල් සමහර වෙලාවට යාට බර්ස් වෙන්න පවා පුළුවන්. So වයස අඩු අයට තමයි අපි ගොඩක් වෙලට ඉප්‍රොට්‍රෝපියම් බ්‍රෝමයිඩ් 3% දෙන්නේ. වයස ටිකක් ලොකු අයට you can consider about salbutamol. Again, you check the response. So if there's any response to the treatment only, you continue with the nebulization, otherwise not. Right? So you should know that facts because අපි ඕගොල්ලෝ හිතන් ඉන්නේ දුම් අල්ලපුවම හරි. ඒක තමයි එතකොට ළමයි උත්තර ගහන්නේ ඒකට උත්තර ගැහුවට හැබැයි වැරදි. Right? So that's the important. So then what are the other options? So steroids. Steroids then again the mechanism is different, not like the asthma. So here also the steroids, when we give steroids, the even you can give oral, IV or nebula inhaled. Inhaled can be budesonide but whatever it is, the harm it will not so beneficial and sometimes it will be more harmful. අපි දැකලා තියෙනවා virus එකේ duration එක prolong වෙනවා. So recover වෙන්න යන කාලය සමහර වෙලාවට වැඩි වෙනවා. So it's we don't use routinely. So the antibiotics, do you use karnawada? No. Why? And this is viral. Viral in the usually we don't use antibiotics unless there is an coexistence of the secondary bacterial infection. But again, the secondary bacterial infections are also very uncommon, very rare. It's not so common, very rare. In the usually we don't use antibiotics unless there is a specific, significant, obvious evidence of secondary co-bacterial infection. So antiviral, are we going to use antiviral? Lamai again. Antiviral use කරනවද නැද්ද? Send me an answer. Usually lamai මොකද? No. Why? Lamai Tamiflu. No. We are not using Tamiflu. මතක තියාගන්න ළමයි. So again, so almost most of the time, what is the commonest? Almost always it is viral, but the commonest is what? Respiratory syncytial virus. So respiratory syncytial virus කියන්නේ ඒකට ළමයි Tamiflu use කරන්න බෑ. Tamiflu or the oseltamivir use කරන්න මොකේද? Influenza වලට තමයි mainly. But මේකට use කරන්න බෑ. There is a specific antiviral drug is there which is called ribavirin. So ribavirin can be used for bronchiolitis, but we don't use it routinely. මේ ribavirin කියන එක මහාර ගණන් and it's not available. ඔයා ribavirin කවුරු හරි ඔය KDU එකේවත් දැකලා තියෙනවද විහිළුවට හරි? No. It's available only in the LRH ICU. හරිද? ඉතින් විහිළුවටවත් හිතන්න එපා ribavirin එහෙම නැහැ. හරිද? ඔයගොල්ලන් දෙන්න. So we don't use it commonly. But the thing is, if this is we consider of giving ribavirin, so we use only if there's a life-threatening risk. ළමයා මැරෙන්න පුළුවන් නම් මේක හැදිලා. මේක හැදිලා මැරෙන්න chance එකක් තියෙනවා නම් අපි දෙනවා. For example, if child is suffering from bronchopulmonary dysplasia or child is having severe immunodeficiency. එහෙම එක්කෙනෙක් bronchiolitis හදන ළමයා මැරෙන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙම ළමයා මොකද ICU එකට දාලා අපි ribavirin එක දෙනවා. Otherwise, we don't use routinely for routine respiratory bronchiolitis. Clear the so main treatment, oxygenation and hydration. So bronchodilators, you give and trial. If there's a positive response, you continue. Steroids, no. Antibiotics, no, unless there's an obvious evidence of secondary bacterial infection. Ribavirin or the antiviral, no, unless child is having life-threatening risk factors such as bronchopulmonary dysplasia or immunodeficiency. Good. Now, so what are the complications? Then මොකද්ද මේගොල්ලන්ට එන්න පුළුවන් complications? What are the complications? For example, they can develop some acute complications as well as long-term complications. මේ ළමයට එකපාර හුස්ම ගන්න අමාරු වෙලා මොකද? So sometimes they can go into have apneic spells, they can go into respiratory failure, and sometimes they might develop during war state. They might develop rarely secondary bacterial pneumonia. So ඕක තමයි වෙන්න පුළුවන්. So මොකද්ද කිව්වේ? Respiratory apneic spells, respiratory failure හැබැයි ඒ වගේම ward එකේදී තව වටේ පිටින් මේ වෙලා secondary bacterial pneumonia එකක් එන්න පුළුවන්, but that is something very rare. So sometimes they can have long-term complications as well. So they have risk of developing wheezing or the prolonged wheezing or the risk of developing asthma. Asthma in the සමහර වෙලාවට risk එකක් තියෙනවා early persistent asthma එකක්. අන්න එහෙම asthma එකක් develop වෙන්න there is a chance. That's a problem. Again, there is another rare but long-term important complication is there. Very good, Mehdi. What is that? Mokada, bronchiolitis obliterans. Very good. What is that? Bronchiolitis obliterans කියන මොකද්ද? සමහර වෙලාවට when there is a significant damage to the bronchioles, suddenly there will be a fibroblast activation and there will be a fibrosis. The interstitial lung disease වලදී උනේ මොකද ළමයි? Fibrosis උනා interstitial space එකේ. හැබැයි bronchioles වල fibrosis වෙන condition එකක් තියෙනවා. අන්තිමට ඒක result වෙනවා මොනවද අන්තිම නිකන් fibrosis it will act as and like something like bronchiectasis වගේ picture එකක් තමයි clinical picture එකක් ගේන එකක්. So they will be a fibrosis of the terminal bronchioles. මේ terminal bronchioles inflame වෙලා settle වෙනවනේ usually කලාතුරකින් fibroblast activate වෙලා ඒක fibrosis වෙන්න පුළුවන්. That is called the bronchiolitis obliterans. That is a very chronic severe condition එකක්. So ඊට පස්සේ ළමයාට හරියට bronchiectasis හැදුනා වගේ තමයි clinical picture එක ගොඩක් කියලා. ඊට පස්සේ ඒ වගේ තමයි symptom signs and right. Okay, so that is about the complications of respiratory these bronchiolitis. So tell me, what are the preventive measures? What are the preventions? So again, what is then now examiner might ask, what is the most important preventive measure? මොකද්ද කරන්න තියෙන හොඳම preventive measure? Send me an answer. ළමයි, this is like corona. මොකද්ද? corona වලදීත් මොකද්ද ඔයගලන්ට කිව්වේ? හොදමු තව හොදමු කියලා අත හොදන්න නේද? So he also said, so hand decontamination is the most important thing. ඕක තමයි වැදගත්ම. So ඕක තමයි best. ඕක තමයි practical and best. මොකද පොඩි එකාගේ මාස් දාන්නත් බෑ. ඒක practical උත් නෑ. ලොකෝ ඉතින් මොකද්ද? hand washing is the most important thing. මේක respiratory route එකකින් යන්නේ සමහර droplets touch වෙලා මේ වුණාම යන්න පුළුවන්. So again, ඒක තමයි most important. Again, the breastfeeding. Again, it's also very important. Breastfeed කරපුවාම සාමාන්‍ය bronchiolitis එන incidence එක අඩු කරනවා. ඒ වගේම ඒක ගොඩක් වැදගත්. Again, sometimes avoid exposure to smoking. අන්න ඒකත් important වෙනවා. So there is a specific thing is there. What is that? මොකද්ද? මොකද්ද තියෙන්නේ? There is another important preventive measure is there, but we don't use it very commonly. What is that option? There is something called monoclonal antibodies. It's like an immunoglobulin. දැන් හිතන්න සමහර අය immunoglobulin එකක් තියෙනවා ළමයි මේ ලෙඩේ එන එක වළක්වන්න. හැබැයි මොකද්ද? This is called the monoclonal antibody ජාතියක් immunoglobulin ජාතියක්. ඒ කියන්නේ මොකද? මේ virus එකට against protect කරන්න තියෙන immunoglobulin එකක්. So that is මොකද්ද ඒකට කියනවා paliviximab. And that is a monoclonal antibodies against the respiratory syncytial virus. But again, the problem is what? මේ monoclonal antibodies are something like අර ඔයගොල්ලෝ අහලා තියෙන්නේ arthritis වලටත් දෙනවා rituximab, infliximab ඒ වගේ එකක් තමයි paliviximab එක. So this is highly expensive ළමයි. පාර ගණ ලක්ෂ ගණන් මේක දෙන්න ගියොත් prevention වලට ළමයි ඉවරයි ආණ්ඩුව ඉවරයි බංකොල. කොහොම දෙන්නේ නැහැ ආගියත් right? So paliviximab එක you don't use it very commonly. It's highly expensive. So we give only for again so children who are having a risk of having life-threatening attack. ජීවිතේ හැදුනොත් RSV infection එක මැරෙන්න පුළුවන්. මැරෙනම upset ළමයි මැරෙන එක avoid වෙන්න ළමයි ඔක use කරන්නේ. So මොකද්ද කියන්නේ? කොයි ආද easily මැරෙන්න පුළුවන්? The children who are having මොනවාද bronchopulmonary dysplasia or severe immunodeficiency. Bronchopulmonary dysplasia හරි severe immunodeficiency හරි නැත්නම් මීට කලින් කවදා හරි life threatening attack එකක් ආවිල්ලා තියෙනවා නම් මොකද? You can use it paliviximab. හැබැයි ඕක මොකද usually use කරන්නේ just before during the season, right? In the season මේ seasonal variation එක RSV season එක කාලේ just before during the season තමයි usually use කරන්නේ just to prevent this syncytial virus infection. හැබැයි හැමෝටම use කරනවද නැහැ. Other those who are having bronchopulmonary dysplasia, severe immunodeficiency, or who had severe recurrent attacks, life-threatening attacks. But they are මැරෙන්න තියෙනවා මැරෙන එක avoid කරන්න. හැබැයි we don't use it routinely. Now, I will ask, that's about the this bronchiolitis. I will ask few questions. මට කියන්න ළමයි. So tell me. sedatives. Are we going to use sedatives? MCQs වල අහන්න පුළුවන්. ළමයා irritable. Are you going to use sedatives? No. Yes, very good. Why? ළමයි sedatives කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? diazepam මේව කරනවා. It can cause respiratory suppression. වැඩි මැරෙන්නේ මොකක් හින්දාද? respiratory failure ඇවිල්ලා. So මේ ළමයා මරනවා වගේ. ඕක those are very practical. අම්මලා සමහර වෙලාවට ළමයි එච්චෝ ලගේ අතින් මැරෙනවා. ගොඩාක් මොකක්ද කරන්නේ? අයි අම්මලගේ ළමයා very irritable. නින්දාගෙන ඉඳි nurse call එකක් දීලා කියනවා ළමයා irritable මේම. give a midazolam. Miss give a midazolam. give a diazepam. මොකක් හරි එකක් කියනවා phone එකේ. ගාන දෙනවා diazepam එක. ළමයා irritable. chloral ටිකක් දෙනවා. මේවද? මොකද කරන්නේ ළමයා හැමෝම ඉතින් heaven. නිදා ගන්නවා අනිත් පැත්තට උදේ බලද්දි heaven. right? ඒකයි කියන්නේ right? so ඒ දේවල් අපි questions වල අහන්නේ ඔයගොල්ලන් මොකද ඔයගොල්ලෝ ළමයි කවවත් මරන්නේ නැහැ කියන එක sure කරගන්න right? so that's important. so again that is we don't use sedatives. Again the physiotherapy, is it effective? Physiotherapy effective there? No, again, for an MCQ, no. So in the pneumonia also, no. He also no. But the bronchiectasis again, chronic conditions are yes, it's effective. So, so if you know those things again, I think that would be more than enough. I will just quick recall. This is very easy, very small topic. Again, the bronchiolitis. Bronchiolitis is what? It's the inflammation of the small bronchioles, the small bronchial tree or the bronchioles, inflammation of the bronchioles. That is the commonest lower respiratory tract infection in the infancy. So again, you will see bronchiolitis only if in small children where the age is less than 2 years of age. And the common age group is 1 month to 9 month age. So again, before 1 month also, usually uncommon unless child is preterm. So the incidence to male to female predominance, if we discuss the predominance, the incidence will be high in males and the prognosis also poor in males. So the etiology. So etiology, it's important point is almost always viruses except few atypical bacteria. So out of viruses also, commonest virus is what? Respiratory syncytial virus, but there are few nasty viruses are there which may cause acute complications as well as long-term complications such as adenovirus, influenza virus, and parainfluenza virus. So if we discuss about the risk factors, there are so many risk factors are there, but out of that, the most important risk factors are prematurity and low birth weight, bronchopulmonary dysplasia, immunodeficiency, and the congenital heart. So when we discuss about the clinical features and signs, the important thing is, since it is a virus, so initially they will have, they will have the three coryzal symptoms and low-grade fever of 3 days duration initially. So 3rd day onwards only, they will develop the classical low respiratory signs, where they will develop cough, difficulty in breathing and wheezing. But since this occurs mainly in the infancy, so they will have something with atypical features, such as they can become apneic, and they can become cyanose, and sometimes even neonatal period, they can just go into hypothermia. So when you examine also, you will notice tachypnea and signs of respiratory distress, and sometimes you will notice features of hyperinflated chest. But the more important thing is auscultatory findings, where you will notice prolonged expiration with the bronchi will be more prominent and in the expiration, and at the same time you will notice few fine crepitations in end inspiration, but those will be more bilateral diffuse. The DD, when you see a patient like this, so other DD, you need to think about the other differential diagnosis as well. The main DD is asthma, but also you need to think about the bronchopneumonia, congenital heart disease, maybe aspiration syndrome as well. Asthma will be uncommon before 2 years of age unless they have positive family history of atopy, and also most of the time they will not have seasonal variation, they will just have recurrent acute episodes, and also the onset will be more acute. The bronchopneumonia you can differentiate with the high fever and toxicity, as well as the auscultation you will notice cause crepitations may. The heart failure, most of the time they will have a congenital heart disease where you will hear a murmur and you will hear fine crepitations predominant. So when your patient comes, so if a patient wants you, the diagnosis is basically mainly the clinical. So the diagnosis is clinical. So usually you don't need to arrange any investigation. But if child is having moderate to severe respiratory distress, you may need to consider the exclude the nasty causes, the anatomical or the differential diagnosis as well as virological DDs. So you may need to arrange the full blood count and chest X-ray. Full blood count most of the time normal, but it will help to exclude bronchopneumonia. Chest X-ray, you will notice characteristic finding in most of the patients where you will notice hyperinflated chest and few atelectasis patches. And if it is very severe, you may need to consider about AVG, and as well as you may need to do virus isolation with a PCR to exclude the other nasty organs. So the management, any emergency you need to manage the airway, breathing, circulation. The key point is you need to maintain the oxygenation and the hydration. So oxygenation, maintain the saturation more than 92%, and the hydration, the important thing is make sure that child will not get aspirate as well as will not develop fluid overload. So then after that, you can do some symptomatic treatment. You can put some nasal drops and do suction. You can give antihistamines to reduce the nasal congestion. Then you can give a trial of bronchodilators. But make sure that sometimes the side effects will be more. So check for the response. If there's significant response, you can continue, otherwise not necessary. So then you can consider giving steroids, not indicated. It can be more harmful. Antibiotics, not indicated unless there is an obvious evidence of secondary bacterial infection. Antiviral, usually you don't give unless child is having a risk of having life-threatening bronchiolitis, where the child is if the child is having bronchopulmonary dysplasia or severe immunodeficiency, so where you can give ribavirin. So the complications, of course, if you do, sometimes they might develop acute complications such as apneic spells as well as respiratory failure. At the same time, sometimes during the hospital stay, there's a very rare chance of developing secondary bacterial pneumonia as well. Now, so long term, sometimes rarely they might go into prolonged wheezing where they can develop early persistent asthma, and as well as very rarely they can develop chronic changes of the bronchiolitis where they develop that is called bronchiolitis obliterans. So preventive measures, there are several measures are there. The most important preventive measure is hand decontamination, and the breast milk also important. Avoid smoking, those are also important. There's another option is there which we don't use commonly, that is palivireximab, which is an monoclonal antibodies which act against the respiratory syncytial virus. But it is an highly expensive. So since it is highly expensive, it's indicated only if the child is having something life-threatening, if there's a risk of developing life-threatening attack. For example, child is having bronchopulmonary dysplasia, severe immunodeficiency, or previous recurrent life-threatening. Right? So මතක තියාගන්න ළමයි අනිත් important දේ තමයි ළමයි ඔයගලන්ට මේකේ පාඩම් කරද්දි ළමයි ඔයගොල්ලෝ recall කරන්න ඕනේ මේවා මොනවාද ටග් ගාලා හැමදාම පට ගාලා recall කරන්න මේ වගේ lesson එකක් 2 minutes වලින් recall කරන්න පුළුවන් ඒක තමයි ළමයි ඔයගලන්ට මේවා වෙන්න පුළුවන් right ඒ හින්දා මතක තියාගන්න ඕක very important So, so we didn't discuss in detail about bronchopulmonary dysplasia, but we will definitely neonatology start කරනවානේ හෙට ඉඳලා. ඒකට මේ මතක තියාගන්න චූටි notice එකක් ඕගලන්ට join මේගොල්ලෝ මේවා නම් මේ පුළුවන් කාට හරි miss වෙලා මොන හරි තියෙනවා නම් මාත් එක්ක කතා කරන්න. ඕගලන්ට කිසිම දෙයක් cover වෙන්නේ නැතුව මේ වෙන්නේ අනිවාර්යෙන් ඒ responsibility එක අරගෙන තමයි exam එකට යන්නේ. මම අනිවාර්යෙන් මගේ student කෙනෙක් අනිවාර්යෙන් pass කරන්න කියන responsibility එක අරන් තමයි කරන්නේ. So you can contact me. Feel free to contact. I'm very cool. So you can join the neonatology එක මේක කරන්න. So මම සාමාන්‍ය ළමයි අපේ මේකක් තිබ්බා මොකද්ද පොඩි මේකක් ඒ කියන්නේ සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අර ERPM teachersලා meeting එකක් කරන් සාමාන්‍ය charges වලදී අඩු කරන්න මේවා එපා කියන එකක මතයක හිටියේ. උනාට we can't අපි එහෙම charge කරන්න හදන්නේ. So that's why I am doing a free class in between, right? register වෙච්ච අයට එතකොට මම සාමාන්‍ය අඩු කරලා තියෙන්නේ. So it will be 5000 for 4 classes. So 4 classes වලදී next මේ course එකේදී මම ඉවර කරනවා neonatology plus immunization මම schedule එක දාලා තියෙනවා. ඒ වගේම ඔයගලන්ට මේ join වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒකෙදි ඒ අතරේදී මම හැම classes 6ක සැරයක් free class එකක් record මේවා කරන්නේ. So then මම හිතනවා එතකොට ඔයගලන්ට ඒක fair amount එකක් වැටෙන්න මේ වෙන්නේ, right? ඒකට ඔයගලන් ගොඩක් දේවල් ඉගෙන ගන්නත් පුළුවන්. ඒ වගේ මම free කරනවා එක එක අය randomly අරගෙන පොඩි groups අරගෙන cross check knowledge මාත් එක්ක live discussion එකක් මේවා කරන පොඩි groups. මොකද ඔයගලන්ගේ knowledge එක කොහොමද මේවා කරලා improve කරන්න. ඒ වගේම papers ඊට පස්සේ කරනවා. So මේ මාසය like in අපි මේ මාසයක් ඇතුළත syllabus ඉවර කරනවා. මොකද revision මේවා November exam තියෙන හිටපු අයට ලොකු හදිසියක් නෑ. අපිට exam date 100% fix නැති ඉඳලා ඒ වුණාට මේ මාසෙන් පස්සේ paper start කරද්දී ඒ කට්ටිය කාටත් මේ වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ වගේම ඔයගලන් හැමෝටම full clear idea මුකුත්ම miss වෙන්නේ නැති වෙන්න responsibility ගන්නවා. දැන් මොන හරි තියෙනවනේ you can talk with me, right? So මතක තියාගන්න keep in your mind the most important thing ඔයගොල්ලෝ කවුරුගාවත් class ගියත් කමන්නේ. The important thing is subjects 6ම එකපාර pass වෙන්න බලන්න. subjects 6 pass වෙන්න බෑ. ඔයගොල්ලන් මතක තියාගන්න ඔළුවේ කොච්චර capacity එකක් ඔළුවේ දාගන්න පුළුවන්ද? ඒක හරියට ඔයා දාගන්නවද කියලා. If you know the concepts මං කියන කොයි subject එකක ඉගෙන ගත්තත් කොයි teacher එකෙන් ඉගෙන ගත්තත් concepts හරියට ඔළුවේ දාගන්න. එහෙම වුණොත් ඔයගලන්ට exams subjects 6ම එකපාර pass වෙන්න පුළුවන්. නැත්නම් ඔයගලන්ට 6 පාරකින්වත් pass වෙන්න ලේසි වෙන්නේ නැහැ, right? මොකද ඔයගොල්ලෝ subjects 6ම එකපාර try කරනවානේ. subjects 3-4ක් එකපාර fail වුණොත් ඊට පස්සේ පාරත් අමාරුයි. ඊළඟ පාරත් අමාරුයි, right? So concepts දන්නවනම් අනිත් එක question එක එකම question එක ආයෙ හැම අවුරුද්දෙම එන්නේ නැහැ. question එක කරකවනවා. If you don't know the questions or questions 100ක් කරත් අලුත් question එකක answer කරන්න බෑ. So if you know the concepts you can answer anything, right? So we'll quickly discuss about these questions as well, then you will be able to දැන් ඔයගොල්ලෝ theory දන්නවනම් ළමයි මේ ඕන එකකට answer කරන්න පුළුවන්. So ඔයගලන්ගේ මේ මම paper එක මම එවලා තියෙනවානේ. So you can open your question paper quickly, right? 4-month-old boy. So මාත් එක්ක බලන්න මම ඔයගලන්ට මම එවලා තියෙනවා. Hope you all have. So 4-month-old boy baby presented to the ward with cough, difficulty in breathing, low grade fever, 3 days with a low coryzal symptoms. On examination, child was tachypnic. There were few bilateral bronchi and crepitations over the lung fields. On admission, saturation was 90%. Child was given 2 liters of oxygen via face mask and saturation improved only up to 95%. What is the most important management step in the child? So what is the answer? So give oxygen via nasal prong and increase oxygen up to 5 liters. Nebulize salbutamol, nebulize budesonide, maintain adequate hydration, mechanical ventilation. Yes, send me answers. Right. So කලින් ඔය උත්තරේ ගහලා තිබ්බත් දැන් නම් කට්ටිය වෙනවා. ළමයි මොකද්ද very good. දැන් concepts මේකයි කියන්නේ ළමයි. අපි අර highlight කරන්න ඕන එක මේවා නම් ඔයා පන්න. So if you know the concepts නැත්නම් ඕගොල්ලෝ ගොඩක් වෙලේට oxygen එක වැඩි කරා 2 liters එක වැඩි කරනවා කියලා ගොඩක් දෙනෙක් ගහනවා. නැත්නම් salbutamol දෙනවා කියනවා මේවා කියනවා mechanical. So answer is what? D. Maintain adequate hydration. So if you මේක නිකන් ඇඟෙන්න එනවා. මේ question එක දාගින්දීම ඕගලන්ට hina යනවා ඊට පස්සේ. Right? So මේක අනේ දන්නවනේ කියලා. So right? So it's very easy. So learn the concepts, then you can answer anything. 9-month-old boy presented with low-grade fever and cough, bilateral bronchi heard on auscultation. Chest X-ray shows hyperinflated lungs on in horizontal ribs and flattening of diaphragm. What is the most likely diagnosis? So bronchial asthma වෙන්න පුළුවන්ද? බෑ. වෙන්න පුළුවන්, but the 9 months more bit unlikely. Bronchiectasis, bronchi නෙමෙයි more prominent, cause crepitations. Bronchopneumonia, cause crepitations. Heart failure, fine crepitations. එහෙනම් මොකද්ද? If you know the concepts, so the answer is bronchiolitis. This is a past paper question. So a 3-month-old infant presents with 3-week history of cough associated with cyanotic spells. His total WBC count was 19,000, neutrophil 18% with lymphocyte 80%, HB 10.7, and the platelet count was 290. What is the most likely diagnosis? Bronchiolitis, this is also past paper question. Cystic adenomatous malformation, gastroesophageal reflux disease, mycoplasma pneumonia, whooping cough. What's the answer? What's the answer? එවාගෙන යන්න ඔයගොල්ලෝ ආන්සර් කරපිය මම ටයිප් කරලා එවන්න ප්‍රයිවට් හරි. තව ටිකක් කියවන්න මට ඒ වල තියෙන 15ක් 20ක් වගේ වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. This is a past paper question and we very frequently ask about this. This is a very favorite topic, respiratory question, right, in past papers. පන්න ඔය මේ ගැන අහනවා SBS වලදී. මට දෙන්නයි තාම හරියට උත්තරේ වෙන්නේ. You need to learn things, huh? So කවුරු හරි හිතන් හිටියා නම් ළමයි මට පේන්නේ තුන් දෙනයි. මට දැන් 30ක් විතර උත්තර එව්වා. තුන් දෙනයි උත්තරේ හරියට එවලා තියෙන්නේ. ළමයි මතක තියාගන්න. So you have keep in your mind. I'm not going to explain everything. So you ඔයගොල්ලෝ උත්තරේ මේක දන්නේ නැහැ වැරදුනා කියන ළමයි ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ knowledge එක අඩුවක් තියෙනවා, right? So answer is what? Answer is E. This is whooping cough, right? So you need to learn things, huh? මතක තියාගන්න කවුරු හරි whooping cough එක ඔළුවට ආවේ නැත්නම් this is the very characteristic things are there. මේකේ කෙලිම typical picture, typical case scenario එක හොඳ මේකක් තියෙනවා ගාන්ට මේක මේක තුන් දෙනෙක් එවලා තියෙනවා 30න් 30ක් විතර එවලා තියෙනවා. So answer is E, right? Whooping cough. So මම ඒක question එක දැම්මේ ඒක bronchiolitis ආස්සේ හැමෝම නැත්නම් bronchiolitis always bronchiolitis එහෙම නෙමෙයි, something else. And knowledge එක ඔයගොල්ලෝ කවුරු හරි හිතන් ඉන්නවනම් හරි කියලා this අවුලක් තියෙනවා. මේ ප්‍රශ්න අද විතර මේ එකපාර නෙමෙයි, this is also past paper question and මේ ගැන whooping cough එක ගැන පන්න අහනවා, right? So this and problem is there. ගොඩක් දෙනෙක්ගේ so හොඳට පාඩම් කරන්න අවුලක් තියෙනවා. You are not perfect කවුරු හරි හිතන් ඉන්නවා නම්. හැබැයි තුන් දෙනෙක් හරියට answers එවලා තියෙනවා. Good, extremely good. Again privately ඔක්කොම ලැබලා තියෙන ගොඩක් දෙනෙක්. So doubt එකක් තියෙන හින්දා තමයි private එක යන්නේ. Good. So MCQs, true or false regarding bronchiolitis? So this is very obvious. Caused by inflammatory obstruction of the bronchioles, true. More in female infants, false. Chest X-ray shows narrow mediastinum. Of course, I said hyperinflated chest features. True. It is caused by a cause for bronchiolitis obliterans. Api complications can give up. True. More common in formula-fed babies. Breastfeeding is a protective එකක්. So more common in formula-fed babies. True. Formula පාවිච්චි කරන අයට comparatively true. So bronchiolitis commonly occurs due to rhinoviral infection. So again, rhinovirus is the second commonest one. So again, that's true. You can take it as true. Most common keyword false, but commonly occurs due to commonly. Yes, true. Most present during infancy. True. Causes hyperinflation of the lungs. True. Rhonchi and co-crepitations are heard. False. Rhonchi and fine crepitations are heard. Tamiflu is treatment of choice. False. Tamiflu දෙන්නේ මොනවද? මේකට. Influenza වලට. True or false regarding bronchiolitis? Caused by respiratory syncytial virus. True. Presence with drooling of saliva. Drooling of saliva එන්නේ මොනවද? When there is a severe obstruction to the upper airways. So commonly gets following. Send me an answer. Very good. Epiglottitis. But sometimes even may retropharyngeal abscess ඒවට එන්නත් පුළුවන්. So whatever the severe obstruction to the upper airway, so that is epiglottitis is the characteristic one. Here, presence with drooling of saliva false. Causes hyperinflated chest, true. Treated with erythromycin, false. So this is viral. Respiratory failure is a complication. Of course, most of them die due to respiratory failure. True or false regarding bronchiolitis? Question number 4. Uncommon in infancy, false. Mainstay of treatment is hydration and oxygenation. True. Adrenaline is the main treatment in bronchiolitis. Adrenaline මොනයටද main treatment එක දෙන්නේ? Adrenaline nebulization, adrenaline anaphylaxis IM ගන්න. Adrenaline nebulize කරන්නේ මොනයටද? Send me an answer. ළමයි. Very good. එක්කෙනෙක් කියව. You don't no. You can't just say group, සමහර අය group කියලා ඒවා තියෙන එක්කෙනෙක් මට ඒවා තියෙන හරිම උත්තරේ. ශ්‍රී ලංකා very good. Group කියලා උත්තරේ වන්න බෑ. Group වලට what is the drug of choice? The budesonide or the steroids. But severe group now life threat මේ වන මොකද දෙන්නේ? You need to give you make sure that child should have a rapid relief. So rapid relief එකකට තමයි ඔයා දෙන්නේ adrenaline. Right? Group එක it's a viral origin. So budesonide or the nebulizing steroid is the drug of choice. But if there's a life-threatening group or the severe group එකක් නම් මොකද වෙන්නේ? ඔයාලට budesonide ඩැක් කරන්න වෙලාව යනවා. So you give some adrenaline that will give a temporary relief. So the duration of the action will be around 2 hours. So ඒ වෙලේ adrenaline දීලා ටක් ගාලා relieve කරන symptoms, then you give the steroids to maintain the treatment. Right? So make sure the answer should be severe group, right? Okay, good. So question number 4, C, adrenaline is the main treatment in bronchiolitis. That is false. Can present with cyanosis and apneic spells? Yes, as Mapikua. True. Heart failure may result in infancy. True or false? What do you think? Heart failure may result in infancy. True or false? Send me an answer. T hari for F hari one. කො තවයි වන්ද හතර දෙනා ඒවල තියෙන කො තවෙන් very good ළමයි මතක තියන්න children ලගේ cardiac arrest වෙන්න what is the commonest cause for cardiac arrest? What is the commonest cause for cardiac arrest in children? Not the congenital heart disease. Commonest cause is MIA no other lazy nahane. What is the commonest cause of cardiac arrest in children? Hypoxia. Right? Hypoxia. So when this is due to a respiratory condition, hypoxia will heart hypoxic kunam. So here also they can initially they will have respiratory failure, then they will have cardiac failure. So they will get into the heart failure possible, severe following severe bronchiolitis at the same time. So the two mechanisms are there. One thing is when they develop a severe respiratory distress respiratory arrest, they can go into hypoxia and they can go into cardiac arrest. That is one possibility. Other possibility is respiratory syncytial virus itself can cause myocarditis. Right? So undergraduate level so it can cause SIADH, it can cause myocarditis. Those are also possible rare complications. So that's also another mode of that is also another possibility of developing heart failure. So again, so here they have asked, so heart failure may result in infancy. That's true. So true or false regarding bronchiolitis? Tamiflu is used to management. False. False. Right? මෙහෙම දැන් exceptions ගන්න එපා. අපි සාමාන්‍ය අපි undergraduate level එකේ මෙහෙම අහන්නේ right නිකන් අරක මැක්කගේ කතන්දරේ වගේ උත්තර දෙන්න එපා. මේකින්ද මේකින්ද මෙහෙම එහෙම bronchiolitis influenza හින්දා හදිසියක් තාවත් මෙහෙමයි එහෙම හිතන්නේ. Right? Undergraduate level very straightforward. So answer is Tamiflu is used in management bronchiolitis. False. Ebola virus is an etiology. True or false? ඔගලන් කවුරුත් වැඩි African countries වල ඉගෙන ගත්තේ නෑ නේද? So Congo area එකේ. So true or false? What do you think? Ah, ළමයි, so the Ebola again you don't need to know in and out maybe මේක සාමාන්‍යයෙන් මේ this is not an pass මේක මට මතක නෑ pass paper question එකක්ද කියලා. So the thing is Ebola virus is mainly cause GI tract symptoms. GI symptoms තමයි mainly එන්නේ, right? So not the respiratory. So respiratory symptoms are uncommon. So usually in undergraduate level, the Ebola virus causes bronchiolitis. That is false, right? So ඒක corona වගේ නෙමෙයි, right? Ebola is something totally different. Not like corona, that is totally different virus, right? So it will not cause bronchiolitis. False, huh? So the question number 5, C. Reputations may be heard. True. Associated with palpable liver on abdominal examination. Yes, hyperinflated and develop even chronic respiratory insufficiency. සමහර long-term oxygen therapy ඕනේ වෙනවා. So question number 6, bronchiolitis, predominant in infancy. True. So I said within first year තමයි commonly එන්නේ. Chest X-ray having hyperinflated lungs. True. Commonly treated with ribavirin. Commonly? No. මං කිව්වේ කොහෙද තියෙන්නේ LRH එකේ ICU එකේ තමයි දකින්න හම්බෙන්නේ. No. Right? So no. Commonly treated is false. Acquired Right. Can you all hear me? Can you all hear me now? So there is a connection failure. Can you all hear me? Ah, yes, very good. Now tell me. So tell me, what was the? So we were discussing about this. මේකනේ මොනවද? Causes lifelong immunity. True or false? ළමයි, I said මොකද? This is ඔයගලන්ට හැදුනොත් මොකද වෙන්නේ? It's like a common cold එකක් එන්නේ හෙම්බිරිස්සාවක් වගේ, just like the rhinovirus. So again, so can you get recurrent attacks? Of course. Do you develop හෙම්බිරිස්සාව හැදුනම lifelong immunity? No, because these viruses very frequently these viruses get changed. Right? There are so many subtypes are there, and these can change very frequently. So that is obvious false. Right? You will not develop lifelong immunity. So okay, good. So E, apneic attacks may occur. Of course, we discussed true. So true or false, 7th one, bronchiolitis. So peak expiratory flow meter is used to assess the severity. True or false? මොකද කියන්නේ? Used to assess the severity. True or false? ළමයි කොහොමද ළමයි peak expiratory flow meter එක use කරන එක බටේ අරගෙන ගල් හයියෙන් පිඹින්න එපා. ළමයි ළමයි ඒක පුළුවන්ද මේ අවුරුදු දෙකට අඩු ළමයා පිඹින්න අවුරුදු ඉන්ෆන්ට් කෙනෙක්ට පුළුවන්ද පිඹින්න? No. කවුරු හරි ඒක true ගහනවා නම් it's foul. Right? So you need to use your common sense. The experimentometer is used to associate false. It's used more than after 5 years of age. අවුරුදු 5ට වැඩි යට විතර use කරන්න. Otherwise not. Good. Presence with drooling of saliva, we said false. Treated with erythromycin, false. Causes respiratory failure, true. Presence with fever indicative antibiotic antibiotic treatments. Very good. මොකද්ද? Again false. මොකද antibiotic උණ තියෙන්න පුළුවන් ළමයි low grade fever usually එන්නේ, but again fever තිබ්බ පාලියටම දෙන්නේ නැහැ unless there is an obvious evidence of secondary bacterial infection, right? So right, good. So which of the following is true regarding the management of bronchiolitis? Nebulized salbutamol causes VQ mismatch. ළමයි again as I said මොකද්ද salbutamol දෙන එකේ මොකද්ද මම කිව්වා sometimes the side effects will be more. So the usually ventilation and perfusion will be ratio will be around 1. But මොකද වෙන්නේ මේගොල්ලන්ගේ obstruction හැමතැනම යාවේ ඒක obstruct වෙලා තියෙන හින්දා මොකද වෙන්නේ මේගොල්ලන්ගේ සෙම එකතු වෙලා යාවේ obstruct වෙලා තියෙන හින්දා හරියට ventilate වෙලා නැහැ. ඒ හින්දා මොකද වෙන්නේ fluid මේ blood vessels මොකද වෙන්නේ shift divert වෙනවා. වෙන එයා ventilate වෙන තැන් වලට shift වෙනවා. So salbutamol දීලා එකපාර dilate කරාට ඒ තැන් වලට blood supply නැහැ. So then they will develop a ventilation perfusion mismatch. වා ventilate කරනවා areas හැබැයි මොකද blood vessels වෙන තැන් වලට shift divert වෙලා. ඒ හින්දා මොකද වෙන්නේ? They will develop ventilation perfusion mismatch. That is a common associated problem. So salbutamol causes VQ mismatch. True. Steroids shorten the duration of course. No. මං කිව්වේ මොකද? Sometimes it might prolong the duration. Virus එක prolong කරන්න පුළුවන්. So that is false. Adenovirus causes more severe form of bronchiolitis. Yes. Why? Can you remember? මං කිව්වා you should know about the other possible viruses where they might develop more acute and chronic complications. Influenza, para-influenza, respiratory acute complications, respiratory distress and the risk එක වැඩි. Adenovirus long term bronchiolitis obliterans වගේ එන්න තියෙන risk එක වැඩි. So that can cause more severe damage. Right. So antibiotics are mandatory in management. False. Has bilateral diffuse crepitations. Yes, bronchi is more prominent, but I said bilateral crepitations are also possible. Those are fine crepitations. Good. Bronchi are the more prominent ones. Has, yes, true. Bronchiolitis is the commonest lower respiratory tract in infancy. That is true. Mortality is low in previously healthy babies. Of course. Bronchopulmonary dysplasia, immunodeficiency, congenital heart disease, premature, mortality. So the mortality will be low in previously healthy children, of course. True. Associated with bronchial hyperactivity later. Yes, I said as I mentioned, so they can have persistent asthma, right? Early persistent asthma. So associated with bronchial hyperactivity in later. True. Causes metapneumovirus. Caused by metapneumovirus. Mukad. So I said when I discussed about the etiology, I said that there is a new අලුත් නිකන් fashionable virus එකක් තියෙනවා මේකට නිකන් කිට්ටුවෙන් යන that is the metapneumovirus අලුත් virus ටිකක් අලුත්ම නෑ දැන් අවුරුදු 10ක් විතර වෙනවා ඇවිල්ලා right so අලුතෙන් මේ එකක් so that is a new virus. Chest x-ray normally in majority. True or false? Chest x-ray normally in majority. Send me an answer. ළමයි මතක තියාගන්න mild අයගේ විතරයි normal moderate to severe අයගේ තියෙනවා. ඔයාලට hospital එකට admit වෙන්නේ කවුද? Moderate to severe අය. Moderate to severe අයගේ මොකද 70% වලටම තියෙනවා chest x-ray abnormality. So they will have hyperinflated chest. So that is so chest x-ray is normal in majority, that is false, right? so ඕක තමයි තියෙන්නේ. So I hope ළමයි මෙහෙමයි ගොඩක් දෙනෙක් questions අහලා තියෙනවා, can you join the classes මේ කියලා. Of course you can join. You can contact me always, right? And you can join. So tomorrow onwards we are මෙහෙම usually ළමයි සතියට ගොඩාක් දාන්න ඕනේ exam එක මේ ලොකු rush එකක් අවශ්‍ය නැහැ. ළඟදීම fix date එක fix කරලාත් නැහැනේ. එතකොට fix කරලා නැතුව ලොකුව rush කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. ඔයගලන්ට gradually ඔළුවට දාගත්තාම ඇති අනිත් subjects එක. දැන් මට දැනෙච්ච අපි slots බලන්න යද්දි ඔයගලන් classes හොගාලා පිරලා. ඔහොම classes පිරිනොත් ඔළුවේ නැහැ, right? නිකන් classes විතරයි. So gradually ඉගෙන ගන්න. හැබැයි අපි ඉක්මනට මේ syllabus cover කරලා එතනින් පස්සේ miss වෙච්ච අයට ආයේ මේවා ටික මේවා කරලා දෙනවා. ඒ වගේම some papers will start කරනවා after 1 month time, right? එතකොට ඔයගලන්ට ඔක්කොම ඉගෙන ගන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි මතක තියාගන්න ඔක්කොම ඔළුවේ තියෙන්න ඕන, right? ඔළුවේ තියෙන්න ඕන number of classes වත් number of මේ papers වත් නෙමෙයි. ඔක්කොම ඔළුවට දාගෙන ඔයගලන්ට join වෙන්න ඕන. You can join. So හෙට මම start කරන්නේ මොකද සමහර වෙලාවට මට normal dates මේවා ගත්ත සමහර hospital වැඩක් තියෙනවා ළමයි. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් twice a week තමයි මම arrange කරන්නේ. හෙට start කරනවා. ඊට පස්සේ සාමාන්‍යයෙන් යන්නේ Fridays and Sundays just in case මොනවා හරි වුණොත් සමහර විට මේ Saturday or Monday shift කරන්න පුළුවන්. හෙට first day start කරනවා. ඊට පස්සේ සාමාන්‍යයෙන් යන්නේ Fridays and Sundays. right evening මම හිත schedule එක දාලා තියෙන්නේ. so ඔයගලන්ට එකපාර මේව කරන්න සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අමාරුයින් ළමයි ගොඩාක් cost යනවා. so classes 4කට විතර මේව කරපුවම ඇති. so මට වැඩ වැඩි ඒකපාර register කරනවා වැඩ. not it will be easy for you all. so you can register 4 classes වලට join වෙලා ඊට පස්සේ ඊළඟ මේකට මේ වෙන්න පුළුවන්. so initial 4 classes neonatology plus immunization මතක තියාගන්න පොඩ්ඩක් නිකන් immunization schedule නෙමෙයි, right? so live killed immunoglobulin මොනවද indications contraindications DPT මොනවද දෙන්න පුළුවන් දෙන්න බැරි මොනවද HIV patient කෙනෙක්ට කොහොමද immunodeficient වෙන patients ලාට කොහොමද right මොනවද allergic මේ ගොඩාක් facts තියෙනවා, right? vaccines miss වුණොත් මොකද්ද වෙන්නේ? vaccines මුලින් ඉඳලම ගහලා නැත්නම් මොකද්ද වෙන්නේ? there are so many things are there. so ගොඩාක් දේවල් තියෙනවා. MCQ will be important නේ. හරි knowledge එකක් හොඳට ගන්න, හරියට තේරුම් ගන්න. so කවුරු හරි කැමති නම් එන්න, but definitely time to time I will arrange free classes also, so you can join. so if you are happy you can join with me. so කවුරු ගාවට ගියත් කමන්නේ. so learn the concepts and the ගොඩාක් facts නෙමෙයි වැදගත්, the concepts, then you will be able to remember everything, right? so if you have any questions you all feel free to contact me. so hope you learn a lot today. so bronchiolitis is a very important condition. so it's important in MCQs, SDAs, long cases, short cases, as well as even in OSCEs. So hope you learn a lot. So see you tomorrow evening. So you can register till tomorrow 12 p.m. right? so since I need to make some registration, right? links yavala mema karanna tiyinda mena. so good. so if you have anything, so send me a private message. hope you learn a lot. so thank you very much. See you again. Thank you very much for your comments. Really appreciate your comments, right? Your comments are the most important things. Really appreciate. So if you can send me a personal message or if you can put, that's really grateful. So if you have any questions, you send me a private message, WhatsApp එකේ වන්න. So then I will reply to you all, right? I'm not so aware to reply personally. So send me a WhatsApp message, right? Thank you very much.